household name in Dubai, the former MMA fighter, the owner of TKMMA Gym himself, Tam Khan.
I just poured water, sold it in bottles for $2. From Coca-Cola came and bought it for bins. What the fuck?
I could never raise my kids in the UK. I'm sorry. England's home. I love England. When they're playing the World Cup, I want them to win. But I could never let my daughters be raised there.
At what point did you know that MMA was over for you?
No offence if you're going to do that, but going around shaking your booty all day and or showing your whole body to someone else, it's not going to have a guy go, you know what, I want a wife.
Let's not get into the religion stuff, but I'm on about just having a faith in something bigger than yourself is the key to feeling whole.
Every person lived by those rules, bruv, there will be no stress on earth. Mark my words. See how Tate lives. See how a Sheikh lives. See how a Saudi lives, bro. You're nothing. Everyone's got their way to do it. It's just a matter of finding your calling. If it was easy, bro, everyone's going to be successful. You would never fuck your mum, would you?
Quick one before we jump into this podcast. Do me a solid favour, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below this video. If you're looking to remove images, videos, search results, or fake accounts online, go to contentremoval.com. But don't take my word for it. Here's some music.
Frank, you're a fucking legend. I just saw this. Layla also thinks you're a legend, which in my mind means you're... which means you're a double legend in my mind. If you get my wife to think you're a legend, then you're extra cool in my mind. Dude, thank you so much, genuinely. That was such a pain.
Welcome back to the Frankie Lee podcast, and today I have an awesome guest, a household name in Dubai, the former MMA fighter, the owner of TKMMA Gym himself, Tam Khan. Welcome to your studio, my man.
Thank you for having me. Actually, I've seen a few of the podcasts before. It comes up on my algorithms, what you say, on my timeline. And it was about a week or two ago I was watching it before we
actually
hit contact. Yeah, honestly, it came up. I think you were doing James Smith.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because he was here in algorithms. You know how the internet works. I have no clue. And I was watching. I liked it. I liked the vibe. And funny enough, days later, we get speaking, and now we're here. So the universe works mysteriously.
Well, I'd actually seen you on Instagram and seen you around the Dubai scene here, and I was going to hit you up for a podcast anyway. But then Smiths came on your podcast with Andrew Tate, and I watched that whole podcast, and I thought, I've definitely got to hit him up. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think he's lying. He would have never have done it if it weren't for Smith and Tate. So let's just be honest. Now I'm joking. Yeah.
No, mate.
No.
Another bald legend, man. We've got to stick together.
Bald 101. But do you know, the truth is, I'm not bald. People say I'm bald. Look at my nose and face. No other hairstyle suits me. So if I grew my hair, I look like the Incredible Hulk during that transition. You remember the 80s TV show?
Yeah.
So I just shave it. Nothing else suits me.
Yeah.
So it's not bald. It's shaven. Everyone says bald. I take offense to it.
So statistically, I've still got hair, but it's like a worn-out penalty spot. So I have to. It's going here. It's going here. It's going all over.
Virgil Arab helipads here.
Yeah, mate.
I'm not lying. I see pictures when I'm bending down. I'm like, right, it's got to go clean. But it's effort. You know what I mean? Just get that clean cut every day. You get the rash, you get the spots, and it's annoying. So I've got a good barber, but people laugh. Why do you have a barber to shave it? Because when I do it myself, I get a rash.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't like putting foam on it.
Have you not used the Fusion? The Fusion's good.
Gillette Max 3 times 3 blades, the special ones. Gillette should sponsor me, honestly. The amount of Mac 3 blades I go through, yeah.
I'm always on them Fusion. The Fusion's how you get the smooth finish, but what people don't understand that don't shave their head, people don't understand grain direction. Grain direction is a true thing, man. Because in order for me to get it this smooth, I have to shave that way. Do you know what I mean? Before I came here,
I swear to you, that's why when it grows out, my hair's like that. It's like, even my face, I used to bob up, down, you know, wherever it's clean. But now I realise barbers know that. We don't. My barber goes up to me and he goes, I gotta go up like that. He goes, no, your hair is going this way. And he goes down and this way up, and over here he's a bit to the side, because I can't see that, but it's true.
People don't understand how like you have to groom yourself as a when you like, obviously if you've got some hair left and it grows through, you need to, obviously you can't just let it grow through in lumps, so you've got to be a bald guy.
Even with beards, otherwise you have these fluffy kind of like.
But there's a lot of work. What we're saying is there's a lot more work in it than what people think.
Yeah, people think we just soap and go. We don't. There's a lot of art to having a shiny bald head like Frankie and to looking like Shrek 2.0. There's some effort into it. There is some effort. A little bit of a brush to the beard. There's
a few fights in between. But let's go back to obviously where you started. Obviously, you grew up in the UK.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know what that's like. You know, it's not as hard and not as gifted as what it's not as gifted as what Dubai is. It's not as gifted as what Australia is. Just give me a bit of an understanding, and the audience a bit of an understanding of your growing up.
I'm in my 4th decade now, just touched. So I was an 80s kid, which I'm so happy with. I think the generation I'm born through, I'm not sure you look younger than me, but we experienced everything from outdoor playing to legendary football games to the days of the A-Team in He-Man, and it was at the time where UK and England was at its peak. It was Great Britain, in my opinion. It was best country on earth, great economy, safe, sport. There were no computer games, no social media. You'd get out from school with your uniform and play football, climb a tree, get into fights, the usual, ride bikes, get those sticker books. I'm not sure if they still got it.
Merlin stickers.
Yeah, Merlin. Yeah. We had tuck shops in schools. Imagine, I've got kids. In those days, we had tuck shops, meaning your parents would give you a little about 20p, 50p. You'd go to a shop in the school and buy sweets.
Yeah.
Imagine now you couldn't get away with that. Kids were eating sweets, crisps, Cokes. They were selling everything in the school. Tuck shop. So it was a good era. I was actually old enough to have milk every morning in school assembly. We'd give free milk from the government. Whole fat milk, so everyone would go to school and they give you milk and you drink from the carton. So the government were great. Everything was at a time where England was at its best. Then, I was born in North London and my family moved to Essex at the age of like 10, 11. Canvey Island.
I know Canvey Island.
Many people online might not know that, but it's the island of dreams. Forget Hawaii. Forget Barbados. It's Canvey Island. But no, honestly, it's home. To this day, I love it. It's a small island. Dutch colonised it, and hence the name Canvey Island. I was raised there from my majority of my life. Went to school there. All my friends to this day, we touch base on Facebook, all there. Very humble, simple place, small island. I think 50 to 80,000 people, maybe max. A few schools, colleges, and it's one road on, one road off. It's like the Rock, we call it. And honestly, great memories. I was probably the only Asian. There was two, brown face or ethnic family on there were ours. There was maybe the local like tandoori, which are like, you get everywhere in an Indian restaurant, but no one knew them. And it was our family. So obviously as a kid, I was the only brown face. It was hard to spot, easy to spot me, but easy to know me. So I kind of was popular in a way as well because everyone knew me. And obviously you have your fair share of racism in those days, but I'm not going to say, it's racist. It's not. I think it was just miseducation. It's like, I myself, grown up, you'd use the word packy shop. Like, I'm Asian, I can say that, but they'd say packy shop. They weren't racist, it's just the word it was in those days. You watch Alf Garnett's show, Only Fools and Horses, they'd use that.
Yeah.
But my friends, like brothers to me, my family, friends, their parents, we were all together. They'd all come to my house. My mum would make meals for everyone. So, had a great upbringing, loved the town. First day at school, some kid tried to start on me. Maybe it was because of the colour of my skin. I can't say it was or wasn't because he just picked me out. So maybe it was the brown face out of a lot of white faces. So had a fight. My first day, year 7. I remember going to that school, and after
was that your first fight you'd ever had?
Maybe when I was smaller, but the first fight where it was like, someone's waiting. He was a local tough kid in the estate. Yeah, like when I grow up now, he's like nothing. But in those days, he's a good kid. So my mum's like, I get picked up my mum after. It wasn't a fight, punching.
Yeah, a few little.
I walked off a bit annoyed because I was not used to it and a bit upset. So my mum's driving, looks in the rearview mirror, and I'm with her friend. She goes, "What's wrong with him? It's the first day." And I'm like, "No, it's just the first day. I don't like school. I don't want to go." So my mate goes, "No, this kid jumped him." My mum goes, "What?" Hits the brakes. Where? Drive back. You got to have a fight 1-on-1 now. Like, my mum made me like.
Hold on. Your mum made you.
My mum's like that. My mum's like.
Your mum made.
Yeah, don't bully, don't be this, but never turn down. If someone hits you, you hit them back. My mum raised me like that. You've got that Pashtun, it's like a tribe, we're from blood and we don't fear no one. I'm like, mum, like, I'm going back. No, it's okay. After that, my mum had a reputation. That kid was like, oh, that's Tam's mum. Yeah. And everyone loves her because she's like that character. And then she put me in a gym, a local gym. Go get muscles, be strong, and you should fight. All men should be tough. Don't be a bully, don't be a thug, but learn martial arts, learn how to be tough, get muscles like Mike Tyson. My mum was like that. My dad was the opposite. Mum was like, look the part, be the part, and be a man, but use it to a good way, in a good way, but just have confidence. So
your family had a lot of history of respect then.
It's about respect, honour, and just being brave, but not stupid. Having confidence, she wanted to instill. So, honestly, putting me in a gym, started learning there from confidence. After that, you know how it is raised in school, you have fights here and there. I was always charismatic, so I was Jack the lad, our friends, we were the loud, popular ones in our year. And as you go, you're in a schoolyard or afterwards, you hang around in our areas, playing football, hanging around, chasing girls, the usual things. So we had our like little crew, as you call it. It weren't even gangs. It was schoolyard. You'd have like each year we'd have the popular ones and the not so popular. And from there got popular, and we were all together hanging around playing football, doing weights and this and that. So yeah, after that, like I started taking seriously more the fighting thing. Whereas we just finished school, and I mean, didn't really have like a lot of fights then because we were our lot were just like respected, and we were the cool lot. So it was just more chasing girls. And
did it start off with boxing though?
Yeah, box. Actually, it was a thing called Wing Chun.
Yeah.
Karate. I think karate. Because when you're young, everyone thinks Bruce Lee is the hardest man on the planet, and Jackie Chan is like from movies, Van Damme. So what you do is, as kids, you would know the same. When you're like from like 8 to 12, 13, karate is the killer art. Like everyone wants to know karate. You believe one man can do this, you can kill a man. So it was karate. Didn't like really get on with it, but then boxing. Mike Tyson, I fell in love with Mike Tyson. My parents, my dad would watch him. Older uncles or friends, dads. So Mike Tyson, as a kid, we might not have seen him.
You got tagged in a video as him the other week, actually.
Yeah. I look as much like Mike Tyson that I do DiCaprio, you know what I'm saying? But which is not. So yeah, watching Mike Tyson, and I remember when he fought Frank Bruno. It was a big thing, and my dad, everyone's watching it in the household, and we love Bruno because we're English. We're like, Bruno's the best. He was a champ then, or he was a title fighter, and Tyson just wiped him, and then all the school went, who's this Mike Tyson? And this is just even before I went to Essex in London, I remember, I think the 80s. So Mike Tyson, we loved WWE. So I wanted to be muscular and I had to box and fight. Mike Tyson, Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, the A-Team. These are the kind of role models as me and a lot of kids had growing up. And so yeah, into boxing gym in a Canvey. And it was a weights gym with boxing bags and guys holding pads. It wasn't really a formal gym.
But you just kind of learn.
Yeah, you learn. In England, it's different because I teach here a lot of kids, and society is different here. Where the kids in England, as you know, they know how to put their hands up and throw a punch. They watch boxing's kind of a mainstream sport, from the Ricky Hattons and the Prince Nazims, Nigel Benns to Lennox Lewis. So everyone knew how to punch, and everyone wants muscles. It's kind of alpha male. It was that generation where boys wanted to be boys. Jack the Lad, football shirt, get muscles, get the girl. Prodigy was the music then. Oasis. So it was that generation I grew up in, and it wasn't where you sit on computer games and you identify as a tree or identify as a wheelbarrow. It was like this. Guys are cool in this. Girls do this, where chew gum, do their makeup, act pretty and cool. You had the kind of like introverts, like what you call stuff. I don't like saying now, the nerdy kids who are into, what was the thing, Warcraft. You paint the
yeah.
with that, but. Everyone got on. Society weren't as bad as now. The bullying weren't as bad as it is now. Everyone got bullied a little fair share, but social media changed that. It was just, you had your friend, you'd get your £5 a month pocket money, you'd go on a bus for 2 hours to local high street, watch a movie, get a magazine, get a McDonald's and go home. That was £5. So
yeah.
I was in that generation. £5 now, I mean, I think a McDonald's doesn't cost that. It's too expensive. So yeah, I got into that. I started growing quick as well. Genetically, family are big, so left school and I started getting into martial arts more because I watched the first UFC from Blockbuster Video. I hired a video. I said, Ultimate Fighting Championships. And me and my friend took a load. And we heard about it from martial arts magazines. I used to like collect, and they mentioned the Gracie brothers, Gracie family, this family who were undefeated in fighting. And in those days, we thought the hardest men on earth were
Roger Gracie.
No, before that, it was like Lenny McLean,
yeah,
Mike Tyson. We didn't know there was another world. We thought Mike Tyson is it. Boxing is the ultimate. We didn't know about what mixed martial arts was because in the UK we didn't have there was no pay-per-view. It was just Sky Sports, football, boxing. That's it. So I read this magazine. I'm like with my friend, look at this. They're like in the gi kimonos, hardest men. They've had 500 fights. They beat everyone. They look skinny. They don't even look hard, you know? So we got the UFC and we watched Royce Gracie for the first time. And I was like, wow, this guy's doing these moves like chokes. And no one knew what a choke was. So I'm jumping with my mate. We're just choking each other out, wrapping our legs around each other's heads, going, I quit. Fell in love with it. And the craziest coincidence is it's like it was written. I was looking everywhere. Internet just started, so you'd have like web browsers. Where can I learn this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu? And literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes drive from my house, there's a restaurant, an Italian Sicilian guy called Daniel Bazzotta, who to this day is one of my closest friends. He was a local hard man in the town. So, you know, to the viewers, when you're younger, you'd always get the local hard man. There was always a guy in every area who was the man. It's not like that now. In those days it was. So he was one of the local tough guys. When he walked with he had big mastiffs and he'd have these leather jackets. He was 6'4". So as you're growing up, I was just shooting up. I was 16, 17, just getting my growth spurt, and he was about 25, 6'4". So he looked the part. So I was like to my friend, "Who's that guy?" They go, "He's Daniel Bazzotta. He's really hard. He's a champion in martial arts and all this." I'm like, okay. So I forgot about that. So anyway, I'm Googling this. It wasn't Google. I'm not sure what search engine it was. And it said Gracie Jiu-Jitsu classes in Southend. I'm like, what? And he had a restaurant. So I walked up to his restaurant, and there's a poster in the wall of Hoist Gracie and him. And this guy was I think a blue belt practitioner of that art. So this guy had travelled to LA to learn it from Gracie himself and brought it to Essex. So what a small world where I lived in this secluded area, 15 minutes away was that art from Gracie himself, the style, martial art. So I've gone to speak to him. The rest is history. We become close friends. There was a church hall we'd rent, hall, bring out a few mats, and he'd start teaching. And mate, I fell in love with it. Just this technique, how physical it is, how grappling, wrestling, how natural it is, jumping on people, learning submissions. Guys half my size submitting me, and I was like, what's he doing? He's hanging them up. I couldn't even figure out how he was beating me. Got obsessed with it. Did my first tournament after, I think, 3 months of training. It was
and that was just straight jiu-jitsu, was it?
Straight, yeah. But it was with a bit of combat. It's the Gracie way, where you learn also punching and kicking. The Gracie style is a bit of everything. It starts standing. So you learn that you've got to do it all. It's basically MMA, Vale Tudo. Anything goes, which is, Vale Tudo means in Portuguese, anything goes. So they taught you, the Gracies wasn't just like, jiu-jitsu now has become kind of a business where it's ground, you get grading. They taught you as in how to fight, how to defend, every position, how to throw a strike. So it was more like MMA. And I did that in 3 months. I had my first tournament. I got a bronze medal in the national championships in Britain. And then from there it took off. I got good at it. And in those days, that was before, I think, in those days, Ian Freeman was the name, Lee Hasdell, Lee Murray. It was just about 6, 7 big stars in the UK. And it was that era. It was just very new. And Daniel wasn't one of the big names. Bisping, I think, came just a bit later. One of the undercards of my coach fought. Bisping, I remember fighting on that day. He knocked someone out in about a minute, Circus Tavern. So it was at the roots of the beginning of mixed martial arts in the UK.
And the beginning of like UK UFC fighters.
Yeah, it was the beginning. Like I'm talking about the founding forefathers, the Ian Freemans, Lee Hasdell, Lee Murray, Mark Weir, big names, Paul Cahoon. These were the founding forefathers, the guys who would actually travel to Japan, Holland, and really take it to the next level, Brazil. And I came in that era, and fell in love with it. We had a show in Essex, made my professional debut. I won, I think, the first round, and just had a liking, and it became my life. Honestly, greatest thing I ever did, and maybe I say everything's written. God made me do that, was to meet Daniel Bazzotta, start my journey there, because of that, everything. My whole life has come from me meeting that guy and learning martial arts. Whether I was good or not, it's not the point. The point is my whole career has spanned around that sport, whether it's been opening gyms, my network, meeting presidents to senators to pop stars to rappers, has come from that journey of someone's small Italian restaurant in Southend-on-Sea.
100%. Like the most pivotal moment in your life was going to that school and getting picked on, because that first fight is what led you on this whole path to
100%.
Having this gym.
100%. Like honestly, it's true. It's like God's journey, from my mum pushing me to go to gyms, from that first fight, from my mum pressuring me to be into sport, from me getting that magazine, to looking at this Gracie family, to meeting Daniel Bazzotta, and now to having my... It's just... Sometimes you forget, but now speaking to you now, I remember that is the domino effect it had, and it's surreal. Like, that's why you never know sometimes how things pan out.
This is why a lot of people who deem they sit there with themselves and something happens and they think something's been taken away from them. And then the truth of the matter is nothing's been taken away from you. It's like it's showing you a different path, you know?
No, 100%. And that's why, I mean, in everything I do, like, I have guys here or students, and sometimes they'll lose a fight or they don't feel like they're getting somewhere. I said, look, it's not always about winning. Not everyone's going to be a champion and be the best or the winner. But something will stem from that. Maybe when you fight, you get this confidence, you think, okay, I'm not the greatest fighter, but I could be a coach, I might make a boxing club one day, or I'll make protein supplements, or I might make merchandise. The guy might not have been a great fighter, but he looked the part, and he makes T-shirts and goes into the merch. Yeah. For example, I watched the podcast of, I think, Nelk Boys, and I was listening to them. I was thinking, I didn't know who they were at that point and how they've made millions, and it was just from merch. They literally said, we don't make anything from YouTube, it's from merchandise. We have like logos, or we have a quote, and the merch flies off the roof. So, off the shelf, sorry. So I'm thinking, everyone's got their way to do it. It's just a matter of finding your niche or finding your calling.
Well, that original fight that you had has led you to obviously having this gym, which allows you then the facility to connect with all these celebrities and to connect with all the Andrew Tates of the world, the Nelk Boys, all the top fighters you have in this gym, all stem from that point. There has to be a pivotal point in everyone's life, and it's how you look at it.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're saying, Andrew Tate, we fought on this. My first ever fight, I'm a bit older, so I started, and I think my first pro fight was 2005, 4 or 5. But our show, Ultimate Warrior Challenge, which I kind of helped my coach and his brother build that from the roots, because we were the original. There's like 6 of us who built a sport in that region. Andrew made his debut on that show too. That's why I know Andrew well from years ago. So that platform, we have to thank those guys, because that gave a platform for him to be in sport, to be a kickboxing champion, get his confidence in. Jimmy Manuel to Brad Pitt. We had it all. All the top names would be there, either watching or fighting, or guys came from there to UFC. So it's crazy how a small town like Canvey Island, South Sea, Essex, has got people to Dubai, sitting in podcasts, sitting on rooftops, and do you know what I mean? When you think about it, it humbles you. But that's how life is. I really believe everyone has the same capacity or capability to be what they want. It's just a matter of sticking with it and taking a risk. Like, what am I? Like, I'm not born with special powers or looks or money. It's just, I took a certain route, I trusted and thought, I'll get there somehow. A lot of bumps, but I got there. Well, others might think, nah, I want the easy way and just, you know.
So how do people get quiet enough to be able to listen to their gut to try and follow it?
Yeah, it's hard, because it's easy me saying that, but nowadays in society where people need to earn money, financially struggling, the West isn't at a point where gas, I see petrol's going up, and people are, it's all well me saying that, so I think I don't want to be in a way where I'm being offensive, where I say, look, take that risk, but you have 2 choices. You can either, in my opinion, have that, do the 9 to 5, work all day for someone, just so you're kind of secure, pay your bills, get your mortgage, maybe it doesn't finish by the time you die, and then you die. Like, your life is that. But for me, I'm a Muslim, so my beliefs are different. I believe there's a purpose of life. I'm here to worship the Creator, and everything else is secondary. So whatever I do in my life is a passion. It's just, can I survive? Can I put food in my fridge? My kids are good. I've got a roof over my head. That's my goal, and the rest is a bonus. So when you have that kind of thinking and faith, you don't tend to chase that paycheck or security. Like yourself, like you're in Dubai, you could go Australia, you could go to LA. I like the freedom of... Freedom's a hard word to say, but I like the freedom of, like, I don't even like the word boss, but being my own boss in a way, also in control of my own...
Your own destiny, yeah.
Also God's destiny, but in my old path to the extent until I die. So imagine if I wouldn't have took that choice of getting into martial arts or that step to move into Dubai, I could be still working in a car phone warehouse, which I was doing before, or God knows, I've done... Argos factory, stacking the trucks. I've done it all, you know. So
these were all jobs while you were fighting.
Yeah, and God knows like where I could be now, or working in some like management firm, sitting there getting the papers for the boss. He's like, "Is it done, Tam?" I can't do it, and it's not arrogance. It's just or ego. It's just I cannot. It's not take orders. I can't sit in an environment where I don't feel my arts or my personality's been shown. Like I like to be on top of things. Like, I work 24/7. It's not like it's work, but I'll call my sister, by the way, I've got this idea. Boom, boom. It's 4 a.m. She's like, I just woke up. Yeah, what about this idea for this event? Or what about this idea for a promotion for the gym? Or this guest coming, can we do this and that? That's how work is on a phone. Like, technology allows it, but I like that way of working. I like that way. I dress like a bum all the time. That's just how I am, because I can. You know, it's my industry. I like the way I can always be at home for my kids when they go to school or go to bed or... want to go somewhere. So that freedom I've allowed is from hard work, but I'd rather have that and not be... I'd rather choose that life and sacrifice being a billionaire or a millionaire but working for someone to have my freedom and be successful in my own way, and swap that to be working 9 till 9 for a millionaire, having a great salary, secure, everything paid for, but I've got no freedom. I'd rather this.
Is it even secure though? Because at the end of the day, when you put your destiny in someone else's hands, then people got to realise that that's not security.
Right there. Again, what's secure? Everyone's
security is trusting yourself. That's what security is.
But to a lot of people that say that's secure for me, I'm safe, I'm content. Yeah, you're right. Content is what you think. For me, it's not about that payment's coming through. We're paying our finance on the free cars. The kids have got their gymnastics, choir songs. No, for me, contentness is when you're healthy, you're happy, your kids are smiling, happy wife, happy life, and your family. Everyone's just healthy and you're secure. Meaning you've got your shelter and food. I swear that's the basics. That's all you need. The rest is all a benefit. People, unfortunately, from social media, are chasing, I want the Ferrari, I want the Richard Mille, I need to get on a private. That's the wrong. If you chase that, it's most likely you won't get it because you're chasing the goal, not the way to it. I know some people say you should aim high, but it's false advertising. Once you know what contentment is, the rest is a benefit and bonus for me. So I'm never in a way stressed and going, I didn't make this or haven't got that. I swear, I'm one of those characters when I see someone do well, I'm happy. If I don't have it, I'm not like, I don't resent anyone, But I truly believe, and some people disagree, do what you love what you do. And I've always said that. If it's a passion, you're always already winning. You're already winning because you're doing what you love. And if your passion's with it, you're going to have that more inside of you to push and work harder to make it achieve.
Exactly why I do this, mate. Exactly why.
Because it's not a job. It's not a job. You're doing what you like and you're kind of making a life from it. So that's not a job. That's just enjoying life.
I love talking to people and I get to have conversations with influential people that can impact other people's lives and I record it.
Yeah,
but they're conversations that I would have with these people anyway. Like I'd have the conversation with you whether we recorded it or not anyway. So I might as well record it and add value to other people's lives that way. That's the way I see it.
And mate, and I swear, and the podcast it's just taken over. I mean, you don't really need to read books. I don't anymore. I'll watch podcasts with someone on your channel. If it's fitness, you listen to a James Smith, like controversial, motivational things. You've got Andrew Tate. Sometimes you go on Lex Friedman. I watch some of the guests he has, or a Joe Rogan, or I like to watch Ben Shapiro. I don't agree with something. I just like to watch some of the people who are controversial. I like to watch right wingers versus transgender. I enjoy watching it, and the future's changed. The old days we watch BBC News, teletext. Now it's podcasts. People get all the information on podcasts. You'll be shocked and surprised how many people watch podcasts and. It's motivated them.
I was coming in the gym and someone who watched the podcast stopped me at the door.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's mad because I'm obviously in Dubai. Like,
you'll be shocked.
It's mental.
The internet, people from the east and west at the same time can see the same thing. Where in life do we have that? It's like like you've got to be in UK to watch BBC. Now you've got online. They can watch you in China, India, Australia, America. So
it's the way I see it is if you're gonna do something you're passionate about, make sure it's leveraged work. So obviously this conversation happens once, but it's played thousands and thousands of times, and it's on a platform that constantly curates that, and then you don't have to go back to it. So you give the energy once, it lives on.
Yeah,
do you know what
I mean, I've done a few podcasts now, and the thing is, like people say, what would you recommend to people out there who are saying could they take a risk and do what you do? Everyone's like destiny's different. Like God's given, everyone's going to have a different path. Everyone, and what's set for them is set. I truly believe from God. But at the same time, everyone's lifestyle is different. So for me to be selfish and say take that risk, I can't always say that because some people don't have that capability. They might be struggling. So I don't want people to go back. Yeah, you say that, but I've got this. I'm a single mother or a single father. I don't mean that, but at the same time, don't let people think that idea is bad or you can't make it. That's when I say that, I mean that you might have something which is not easy. If it was easy, bro, everyone's going to be successful. So people, I think, when they get the first no or criticism, they start to quit. That's the thing where I didn't quit. You're right, you're not going to be a good fighter.
It's like
gyms don't make money. Because where we're from, the old days, it'll be a little warehouse, a gym, about 10 members. The gyms weren't a big business in those days. Gyms were just like a local juicer would open a little garage and you pump. No, it wasn't like seen as someone who'd make a business from it, So you get naysayers, you're going to get people put negativity in your head. My point is to these people, you've got to just exclude all that tunnel vision and do whatever it takes to get that. But that means network as well.
Your relentless focus, though, came from your martial arts side 100%. Like, and it came from that your family instilled you with self-belief before you even knew that they were conditioning you to have that. And that was a gift in itself, because even though it was probably a bit harder for you growing up because of the way your mom and your dad and the way they approach life, the pressure you probably had the pressure of doing good at school but also defending your honor.
100%.
Like, so you had it from both ways, because that's what Asian parents are very much like, isn't it? Like in the UK,
it's very bad. Like, it's a pressure of academically you got to be this, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a pilot. And like a lot of the Asian communities, like, their parents are very strict. If you mess up an exam, like, I was taking me out of the Asian demographic, I was probably the most underachieving in GCSEs. I was Jack the lad. So when I had my GCSE results, I think the best grade I had was probably a D. Literally, I'm not lying. It wasn't because not intellectually there, just I didn't really care. I didn't study. And my parents thought, oh yeah, I'm studying, I'm doing good, but I'm not. Like, I'm out, I'm bunking school. And then I'm like, and I wasn't caring about my future. I'm like, I'm going to get my ass kicked by my dad and mum. So that's a pressure amongst a lot of the Asian communities about achieving. But what they don't understand is it's too much academic. Whereas that's just a certificate. But honestly, it's a certificate. Yeah, it helps if you're in a brokerage or a certain company where you can get that managerial position. You need to have that diploma, or you're a lawyer or a doctor. But 90% of the time, bro, school's great. Educate yourself, learn history, learn geography, learn like numbers, problem solving. You've got to learn how to socialise with people. But at the same time, it's not the end of all.
The way I see school system is simply you go there to socialise and build a network of people that you know, and that's all that school's good for.
It is. I won't cuss it totally because I don't want to get out there and clickbait go. He says don't go to school. Very good for educating people, learn how to speak, write, certain skills. And if you are going to go into certain fields, like be a lawyer, that you need those diplomas. You need to study case studies.
It depends what lifestyle you're trying to design. But everyone who's listening to this and got to this point, it's like you can design your lifestyle and reverse engineer the outcome that you want. But you've got to be absolute in the outcome that you want. And you knew from day dot, that you didn't want to be an employee of someone else.
Sure. At the same time, but unfortunately, schools don't give you that. They don't build your confidence. They don't let kids have dreams. They don't let you feel like you can put your passion. So I think to all those who are listening who haven't achieved in school, don't feel like they've got qualifications. It doesn't mean anything. I've seen guys make money like people with all the degrees and PhDs in the world couldn't compare to. And that's just from guys who are not educated, can't. If they wrote an email, you think they're dyslexic maybe. I'm telling you, they can't grammatically not correct, but they are smart, sharp. Go say it. I mean, doers, as I say.
Making money and business are a totally different game to education.
Yeah.
And education in terms of getting a certificate is not a prerequisite of you earning X amount of money either.
Not at all.
So it's like it's most people in this society go to uni because they don't know what else to do, or they think,
whilst they're thinking,
whilst they're thinking. Well, that's actually taking you away from your actual true intuition when you go to uni and use that as a time filler. So when people get these things so some people use alcohol to get away from themselves, some people use sex, some people use drugs, and some people use uni, right? But whatever you use, that you're not using that time to get quiet with yourself, so you actually know what you're about.
Yeah. I think, look, I totally agree as well, but at the same time I also think there's a specific person who's right for uni, and uni's going to help a lot. There are those people where whether it's going to law, medicine, uni is a need, a must, and they need to do that. There's others it's not, like you said, for their parents, keeping someone happy. They're confused, they're hitting 18, 19, what do I do? I can't get a job. Right, let me go uni for a few years, have fun, run around in the dorms, whatever it's called, and enjoy. But like you said, being a Muslim, everything is set by God, so don't stress in life. I tell that to everyone. Believe in a religion or not, I believe and I know it's the truth, so I'm going to give my free advice. Just do what you feel your passion's for. As long as it's legal and you've got a passion for it and you truly believe in what you're doing and having, you'll get there. I honestly believe with hard work you'll get there. At the same time, if I could give advice to anyone, it's network. Network is the key. Networking and just meeting people and asking questions and annoying them. For example, like, you'd see a Joe Rogan if you knew he was around. You'd be a pester him. How did you do this? How did you do that? What was this? If he says get lost, you go to Alex Friedman or Alex Jones, who is the leading podcasters of the last 10 years. You speak to him. How do I do this? What do I do this? Watch them. I saw this mic, like I'm watching yours now. I was watching your mic. Sure, there. I saw that mixer. That looks good. He's got 3 cameras set up, all in a little suitcase. Good idea. I might do that. You're picking up every time I'm like doing a podcast and meeting someone. I'm also learning from your system how you do your setup. So whilst I'm giving you content, doing my thing, I'm still learning. I'm looking at the whole setup, thinking to my staff, right, you know what? His was more simple than we did last time. He's got these 2 lights. Everything's portable. Rather than getting what we had last time, it took about 6 hours to set up. So I'm learning. So that's kind of networking in a different way. So networking is your net worth. Meet people, talk to them, whoever the best in their goal, try and meet them. If not, lower tiers, ask questions. That's the only way. Don't have an ego, because if you have an ego, you're not going to get anywhere. I ask questions, failed millions of times, made mistakes, but then I'll meet someone in marketing, or I'll meet someone in social media advertising, or I'll meet someone in management, and I'll say in events, oh, I did this didn't work. What do you think? Have a look at this. He'll be like, you know what? I saw this event. What you did wrong was the layout was bad, or the lighting was bad, or the advertising campaign wasn't effective. Every day to this day, I'm still learning. My gym's quite successful.
Always be a white belt.
Always. Like, I used to hate TikTok. People were saying, get on TikTok. I was like, what? Men dancing, doing this. It's pansy, you know? Like, I'm not going to say other words like in my lyrics, but it's pansy. What is this? Guys dancing. As if I'm going to do that, I look stupid. So I was looking when we relaunched the gym to do Google ads and things, and I've done loads of Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, and honestly, I didn't see results. I mean, every gym in the region does it. I'm thinking, why does someone want to choose mine over theirs? So I see this guy propping up on all my social media, some TikTok guy, and I'm like, let me go see him. So I've called him, messaged him, I said, I want to meet you about advertising. He goes, come to my office. So I went and sat there. I said, look, I've got a gym, I just want to get it, more members. What's the best way? Like, what's the latest trend? He goes, TikTok. I said, no, I'm not into TikTok. Look, ads, I'll spend this much. You tell me I want it everywhere.
Yeah.
He goes, listen, forget all that TikTok. I said, are you sure? He goes, listen, TikTok's not what you think. Guys dancing, doing dance challenges. He told me Costa Coffee, Balenciaga, 10 or 12 big brands here are all on TikTok and nothing else. I said, really? He goes, just trust me. Let's do a few weeks and watch. This is about 3 months ago. I said, okay. He goes, I'll do everything. You just give me an hour of your time every 3 weeks. And I'm going to do loads of videos. Doing videos, this and that. And he's just doing these mad videos, making me shout, putting text. I swear, just from this alone, at least 20-30% of sales went up. TikTok, to the point where all my social advertising, everything's through TikTok now.
Yeah, that's where I saw you. It was TikTok.
Yeah, and I've got a profile. I don't even log into it. It's not. He's doing it, and literally from TikTok, I'm nothing. I'm just like a local guy, ex-fighter who's got a family, does business, who's on social media. I'm getting kids ask for pictures. I'm like, what? Saw you on TikTok. You with Tate. Saw you with Tate. Saw you with Kamza. Saw you with this guy. Oh, you're on TikTok, I love your stuff, Tam. I'm like, I was in Doha the other day, I swear to you, for the England game, about 10, 12 people from Britain were asking pictures for me. At one point in the mall, then everyone came through. I was embarrassed, because I thought, I look like a dog, like, taking pictures, like, who am I? But it's from TikTok, and the gym's gone booming, and all because I trusted this guy, and my point is, I went out to ask questions, network, what's latest, what's going on, and if I was stubborn, or a bit arrogant in a way where, no, TikTok's it's dweeby, it's nerdy, I'm going to stick to the old pay sponsored posts. It wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's my point, was because of networking, asking questions, always learning. It's a small example, but it just shows that that's what can achieve. So my point is to anyone out there, if you want to be a YouTuber or a podcaster, go and meet who's a local YouTuber, who's the biggest in your region, who've got ways to kind of speak to them. That's what I would do. So if you're in UK, for example, go and meet Christian Hamby. Message him or find where he is, or they're quite big, but one of their sidemen or a smaller level guy, and ask them, message them what they do, or watch them and monitor how they do it, what's funny, what's not. And that's the way you'll learn, and take skills from everyone, and you'll succeed 99% of the time, in my opinion.
And that's literally you've just gone through there of how you've had to reinvent yourself from when you got out of MMA.
Always have to.
But at what point did you know that MMA was over for you?
I think because, honestly, bro, I was not even We had one coach, we wouldn't even train hard. We're just like 3 times a week. We're just tough guys. Like, in the martial arts, you can't disrespect MMA like that. It's an art, the highest level now. But in those days, it was just like, if you're tough, let's go fight. And you get found out if you're not training. Like, I literally, I've trained. I wasn't training. I just turn up. I've had some fights I've lost. I literally didn't train. I've got my friend holding pads. He can't even hold pads. His hands are there. I'm like, I'm hitting a right, left there. I'm like, bro, the head's there. I had guys. I didn't have coaches. When I first moved here, a lot of my fights, I'm building MMA in the region. So there's no MMA gyms. I'm coaching myself, having students on my hold pads and wrestle with me. So I always had the skill and talent, but I just didn't have the training. And the hardest working room will always beat the most talented if he works harder.
Yeah.
And you learn that in martial arts. You learn it very quickly. But I was always like doing it for passion, it weren't for money. And then I thought, my goal was I'd love to have a gym or this or that, or be a commentator or something, make a martial arts brand like in those days, Tap Out. I was always thinking something around those lines. And gym was the obvious one when I came to Dubai. And I honestly saw Dubai as, which it is, the most booming place on the earth. Money's there, lifestyle. I thought, if you do a gym here and make it popular, you can do well from it, live on it. And a lot of my friends in the UK get a gym. Like, we have MMA gyms. Everyone's doing it. It's part-time. You have a gym.
So you came out in what year?
2008. I came out in the recession when, boom, the crisis hit.
Because like all the property here was falling through the floor.
I came in literally, it's like I was a bad omen. It was like, boom, financial crisis. I'm like, okay, but UK's dead. I might as well just stay here. First few months, I'm running around trying to say, this is mixed martial arts, fly. It was those days where you put posters in shop windows, Facebook posts and ads, going to local gyms and just trying to get people. Had a friend here I met. He was my student and we were just trying to reach people out, do the odd one-to-one session. It was growing but very slow, just ticking over enough money to survive. And then a journalist hit me up, an English guy. There was a newspaper called 7 Days. It's like the Metro in the UK. Everyone reads it. It's everywhere. It's free. Hotels, malls, coffee shops. Goes, I've heard you bring in MMA. I want to do a little piece on it. It's something different. I guess the news was boring. Then he thought, let me just use this guy. Came and did an article, called it Cage Fighting. The picture on the front of the newspaper is me having him in a hold. He's pulling a funny face like that. And it was just clickbait. And front page. Next, and it had my mobile phone number in the ad. Honestly, next day my phone's ringing off the hook. That, boom, 30, 40, 50 students come in every class the day after that ad. To the point where it was loads of classes were booming. The noise got out, influencers, the local celebrity. It just, boom, to the point where I just knew it was time to make my own facility. And my name was there. Found some investors and bang. Never looked back. 2010 I opened the first gym. It was called Contentment MMA. It was the first ever in the whole Middle East. Not over here, the Middle East, MENA region, especially GCC. Mixed martial arts academy with a cage, MMA coaches, a conditioning area. It was the first ever like that.
How did you go about structuring the investment though, those days?
I had students. So the good thing about here, when you're in sport or anywhere like or what you're doing, you meet people with different backgrounds. And I had students who I didn't realise were like wealthy, and I'm sitting there training them, and they were like, yeah, you know, if you ever want to do a gym, I'd love to get involved. I'm like, yeah, cool. Not listening, thinking, like, involved what? What do you want to be, a receptionist? I didn't get it. From Canvey, fresh off the boat of Canvey Island, I'm like, I don't get what he means. I wasn't a business savvy guy like that. I honestly wasn't. I was a street hustler, like, yeah, but I wasn't understanding the whole point of investment, equity, share. I didn't know what they meant. Then there's 2 or 3 of them come up to me and go, look, we love your classes, we're your students. Let's do something. We'd love to do it with you. And I'm like, yeah, I want to build this brand called Contender. My sister gave me the idea of the name. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. It's the Marlon Brando quote from a movie. And I said, yeah, I had a logo. And I said, you know, I want to make the fight team like this. They go, why don't we make a gym? And I'm like, yeah, but it'll cost this. Look, they go, look, we'll bring the money. Let's just have shares. We'll all equally have. I'm like, yeah, you sure? He goes, yeah. Okay, made contracts. We went and found places. Next minute, this. They brought something to say. One brought business plan. Another one was from another family. He brought expertise in marketing. Another one brought a financial background. So, like I said, networking again, without knowing it, they all had their own skills, and I was the...
And they were here to love your brand already.
They all love the brand, and they're my students, and I'm the guy who's behind the management and the brand itself in the martial arts side and the actual service. And boom, it came together. We opened it. Had Vanderlei Silva do the opening. Had Jean-Claude Van Damme come to the gym. It was successful. And yeah, and from there, that went boom, skyrocketed. I started the first ever Dubai MMA promotion called Dubai FC, Dubai Fight Championship, where I gave a like a stage for people to learn the martial arts. The next step was to produce talent here. Gyms will only do well if you go for shows and give them events like UK Wise Boxing, famous because you've got Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, you've got Queensbury with Frank Warren. So people aim to get on that show. To do that, you've got to go gyms. To do that, you've got to get experience. Keep paying the gym. So in order to get your gym successful, you need to have an event where people can aspire to go to, like in football.
Yeah.
You want to play for a club, pay for your training. Remember football, to get in the team, have you played your dues, have you paid your monthlies? Same as gyms and martial arts. So made that show, that became a huge success. And to that day, it was just booming. I thought, you know what, it's time to make my own brand, because something which will be with me forever. Whatever happens, live or success or fail or whatever, it's my own brand. I can franchise it one day, make my own clothing brand like I do. I wear it everywhere. Everyone will see me on this podcast and think, see that guy, everywhere he's wearing this. Look, I've got about 1,000, all right? I'm not stinking. But yeah, so I thought I'm going to make my own brand which sticks with me forever, which I can't get screwed off, because I've been screwed a few times in business too. I've had my ups and downs.
What were some of the biggest things that you got screwed on?
Like partnerships. I have people I partnered up in the martial arts. I do all the work, and the egos will get involved, and they try to screw me, steal the business under my palms, and like literally take the business off me, because here in the old days in Dubai, you'd have to have a local sponsor to open a business. So they're like, yeah, I'll be silent, I won't get involved, but they see the lies, they see magazine articles, not that I care for that. They wanted to get it, and then arguments come out, I think this, I'm like, no, that doesn't work, please trust me. Egos, and I've had times where I've had my whole business stolen off me illegally. I couldn't do anything about it. Start from scratch.
So how many times have you lost your business here?
3. No, two, sorry. The first one we just folded with a friend because the landlord wouldn't let us. The landlord kicked us out of the building because we made too much noise with the classes, and we were above a bank. And he's like, look, the bank paid me 1.2 million rent a year. You're paying me 200,000. It's not. And I was like, understood. So 2 gyms after that, I found partners, and because they were huge gyms, I needed big investment, and both of them were like literally stolen off me.
So
taken overnight. I literally went off with nothing. But
so how do you pick yourself back up from that?
Yeah, you've just got to be positive, and you've got to just go around, readjust, reassess yourself. And I sat there, made a plan on paper, on my phone, on notes. And I'm sitting there going, right, this can't happen again. These were 2 gyms, 2 different brands I built with partners, different names. I thought, right, from now on, I'm not going to let that happen. First thing is my own brand, my own name. That way it can't be stolen. So I went with that, the TK brand, my own name. Boom. That's the first step. Second step, I need to find a location now, and I'm going to raise it in a way where it's not equity. It's more investment or loans or things like that, or a way where I work around something. So you reassess, you speak to people, and it came to a point where I was blessed to find this space, my own brand. The good thing is when I lost the second one, they stole it. By that time, I built a huge following here and a loyal following from a lot of customers, and they all knew. And with me, I'm very, what you see is what you get with everyone. Like to every member I know on a first name basis, I chat to no egos. If someone comes to my gym and can't afford the membership, oh, I love it. Tell me I lost my job, or can I pay next month? I've literally got about 20, 30 people here right now owing me for when they can make money. It's been about a year or 2. But I'm like that. No other gym would do that. If you go to a gym and you've got that access card, sorry, come back later. You know, like a Fitness First or a Gold Gym. With It's Me, it's not. That's why I think the people like it. It's the people's gym. So that following, I put my logo, I made an Instagram account for it, and I said, come in soon, doing little teasers, posts, showing merchandise. And it had before the opening, Instagram went booming to the point where I found a space, raised money, did it all, and then I set a date, and by the I swear within a month, 500. Within 3 weeks, 500 members, which is mad. 500, and it's just got to a point where it's thousands, and it's become an international brand in its own. You know, like the gym itself, the gym part, Los Angeles, I get celebrities messaging us. I get world champions, fighters in MMA, boxing, actors.
Who have you had in here today? You've had some people decent.
Yeah, I've got Khamzat Chimaev just left, future UFC champion. We had
Vitaly.
Yeah, we've had the YouTuber Vitaly. We had Deji training here a few weeks ago. We've had Badu Jack training here not a few days ago. We've got Mahmoud Shah, heavyweight boxer, doing his camp here for a fight against Lucas Brown on Saturday.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Fury.
Is Deji actually training these days? Because my mate used to train Deji, and I'm telling you now, I sparred Deji, and Deji don't like training, bro.
No, he's got a new coach, and he was training. He fought Mayweather, so he came out and trained one day. He had some of his camp, and honestly, he's with a coach who's good at what he's doing. He's got like some pros with him, so I think it's about finding yourself. No, he's got a right team. So now I think he's training. He looked in shape. I don't know his past, but a lot of the YouTubers come here. A lot of the pros. We've had John Cena's, and Steven Seagal was here a few weeks ago. It's just mad, bro.
In his first fight, he was trained by a pro that I know called Tommy Martin, who's out of Vic's gym in Peterborough.
Okay,
and he was training there. Yeah. But there was a lot of the team blamed behind that, but to be honest, he wasn't training hard. You know how you said when you was turning up to fights without training. Yeah. He did the same, and I know he took it. I know he took Floyd Mayweather seriously. Obviously, it's a walk round, isn't it? But I know he's take that kind of fight seriously. But in his early days, he wasn't.
No, you're right. It's like martial arts and boxing. Boxing is like probably the toughest sport in the world. Combat. So unless you give it 120%, and not only that, these guys are YouTubers or influencers. They're starting from scratch, but they're already at an age where it's hard to mold them. They've got egos, they're successful in what they do. So I bet these coaches struggle at the first. It's hard for these coaches to like say, listen, put your phone down, take your sunglasses off. You're not a star. This is a gym. In gyms, there's no celebrities. None of you are Mayweather or Conor McGregor. Calm down. And then these coaches have to see what they're good at, what they're not. Coaches are a hard game too. They've got to assess what's the strengths, weaknesses, come to a plan. It takes a few weeks to work out what they're good at and what they're not good at, what they like, what they don't like, and work with them in a way where you don't push them away, where they don't start avoiding calls and not coming to training. So that in itself is a task and it's a goal, but you need experienced guys like he's got now. And from what I saw, not the Mayweather fight, the one before, he fought an Arab YouTuber and he beat him up in London. He looked good. I was shocked for a YouTuber. He looked very good, sharp. And I was impressed, so I said to my friend, I said, look, you can tell he's boxing because he was one of the best guys on that card. So it's like anything, hard work. And I think once you feel that first win, I think they get that drug. It's an adrenaline fix, so they start training harder.
When YouTube boxing first came into fruition, I was like, because I'm very traditional about boxing, I'm like, I don't really like this. It's not really good for the sport, but. Then I started to understand now that it's bringing more eyeballs onto boxing, and the way that boxing has lost against UFC over the last few years, it's good. It's good to have these kind of the Jake Pauls of the world that kind of bring people in.
I think it's great. I understand you too. Some of it is just trash, and some of it's annoying. But with like KSI, this Misfits thing, you've got the Showtime project they're doing with Jake Paul. When you've got real promotions and real work like DAZN and Cal Solan behind it, then it helps it a lot. Some of the other shows are like really trashy, and some of the fighters are trash. But you've got 6 or 7 guys out there who actually, you can tell they're taking it serious. They're putting effort in. There's some good fights. Like I saw a fight a week ago or two on a Misfits card. It was very good. Actually, Waleed and his opponent, I'm not sure his name is, but Waleed Chugs, he started his first fight with us on YouTube, on a YouTube show. So yeah. It brings a lot of spotlight, like you said, because MMA's taken over. Why? Because MMA brings the whole WWE factor, the promos. That it's important now because it's entertainment. It's not just sport. You need to entertain the crowd. You need to bring the kids, the wives, the girlfriends, and you can't just have that. If you've got 2 tough guys from Russia who are really skilled in boxing, beating each other up, no promo, no hype, no one cares. No one cares. It's a show. People want to enjoy it. DJs, music, entertainment, celebrities. That's what they come for.
And so how long have you been doing shows out here for now?
Been doing promotions of events from MMA to boxing since 2012, so 10 years.
10 years, and
I've done MMA promotions, boxing shows, amateur, professional, YouTube. I'm the first guy to do YouTube boxing events in the Middle East, from Money Kicks to Adam Saleh, Slim, the guy who's like dominating there. We built his CV up here with 2 big fights, and on a big stage we had the Coca-Cola Arena. The first ever combat event ever in the Coca-Cola Arena in the Middle East was from me, Social Knockout show, which I own. We had YouTube fights, we had a few pros at the beginning to make the crowd look decent fights. We had music, rap stars come like The Baby and A Boogie, so gigs from the UK. So you'd have fights, you'd have rap performances, you'd have VIP tables, food, drink. It's like a whole entertainment show.
But what I've done that I love that you've done is the fact of like you've created intellectual property around the show, and you own all the intellectual property. You create the events, which obviously then you put your other branding, your gym branding all over, and it blows it up and it allows you to exposure. And then obviously you're attracting all these celebrities as well. It's just a real nice flywheel ecosystem of how you attract people to your event and how you build something like that.
Yeah, so like you're right. So in the ring you'll see on the gloves TK here, TK there, branches of the other events. Oh, I loved your show. Now, in the end, my gym always wins because people want to meet YouTubers, they come here. They want to be in the show, they come here. It's free branding. It's international, using all their channels.
You've created a place where people can get proximity to people they couldn't previously get proximity
100%. To. Like I had Andrew Tate, his old friend, he was working out, did a public workout here. It was chock-a-block, bro. Like thousands coming. They broke one of the lifts going down, trying to jump. I've never seen things like it.
How did you and Tate become friends?
We were both fighting the same shows. We've known each other for years. And it's like the martial arts thing. Like, for example, I'm moving here. And so UK fighters will go, oh, I'm going to Dubai on holiday. And he'll be like, oh, someone will say, reach out to Tam, he's over there. Remember Tam from UWC 5?
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. It's like in boxing or in football or in a podcast, you've got that kind of like network. But we'd always touch base on socials and that and follow each other. You know, like all the old fighters, the Maguires, Luke Barnett, they were from that region. And we were from Essex. And we'd always speak here and there. And a few years ago, he's like, I'm coming over. When he come into, well, let's catch up for dinner and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Let's come to my gym. Like that, chit chat. How's things going? All right, good. Just when he's here or I'm there. If I'm like, for example, if I go America now, I'll reach out to Jimmy Manuel. It's a friend, I'm Jimmy, I'm in LA. Let's reach out, let's touch base. Or it's like that wherever you go. Like if I go Germany, I've got friends. Everywhere in the world, I can, alhamdulillah, through this network, I can message someone. I'll know someone everywhere in the world from martial arts. And they'll welcome you and then let's meet up, let's go here for dinner. And then in the last year, we come more close with chatting because I saw his stuff getting content, so I'd laugh. I'd send him a thing on social. I'd be like, what is this? I crack up. His content was making me laugh. I'm like,
yeah.
I never knew him like that, you know? And I was like, he is hilarious. Some of the stuff he's saying, it was going viral. I see some girls posting on my face, oh, this guy's this, that. And I'm like, hey, that's Andrew Tate. He's an old friend of mine. What? And I mentioned, I just saw this, and he's laughing. Then we started talking more, and then we were chatting a lot. And then at that time, we got banned. I'm like, shit. Contact, but then we had each other's numbers from WhatsApp. I said, hey, what's happened to you? Like, man, he goes, this and that. I said, you know what, let's do a show in Dubai. A talk show, like a stand-up show, like an evening with Andrew Tate, and speak about everything, you know? Like, we won't ban you here. And I go, I'll push it for you. And he goes, yeah, it's maybe a good idea. I've got this 41 tenants in a system which I like to push, and I live by, and I want to spread to the younger generation. From there, we touched base. I planned it all. Got cancelled from... Actually didn't get cancelled. The government love him here, but it's a few Karens who hated it. And it was just fresh off his banning. And I myself thought, you know what, I'd rather not Dubai get stick for this. Thinking, misogynist in a misogynist country, of course they're going to promote him. So I thought, it's too early, let's delay it. So come over here anyway, let's do a tour, let's meet people, events. And I swear to you, ever since then, he's moved here, been welcomed with open arms with government entities, sheikhs, rulers, private businesses, and it's just been amazing having him here. We hang out a lot, we chill, go to events, and we'll do that event probably in New Year.
But I think a lot of the content that he creates is more standout than it is his actual true self on the other side of things. You know what I'm saying? He's more chilled in real life, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's a very good guy. He's very, very, very honestly loving, respectful guy. But sometimes it's not that. It's not like here's what you see on TV, but the delivery's got to be different. For you to get clickbait. Like, for example, we might get a token from it. It'll be, say, Andrew Tate, or it will say racism in London or hashtag whatever. You have to get the message across. Sometimes you've got to be like that. If he was like, my name's Andrew Tate, and I think men should get confident and, like, fight and work out, and, bye. He would have hit 2 viewers. It's because he has those sunglasses. This. She's wrong. She's a hoe. OnlyFans a scum. Be a housewife, that. And everyone's like, yeah. And... He's autocratic. He's powerful.
Yeah, he's speaking the unspoken voice.
He is,
in
and
society.
I'm telling you, I did a podcast where I hang on to all the time. We were watching the England game the other day. We get on, like, we're very close, but when those sunglasses come on, I sat there. I was like, whoa, taken back. He
gets into character.
He's so well trained on the mic. I swear to you, it's like I couldn't explain it. I was like, damn. I was like looking at James Smith in the Mo Vlogs. I'm like, all right, so. what do you do for a living, Andrew? I was like, it was intimidating. He's that good. And because I'm new, like you're experiencing it. I'm still new to the podcast game. I'm learning. I enjoy it. I don't do it for money. I like to chat to people. I want to do topics which some can't. Like,
I don't do it for money either, bro.
I want to do it for about religion and stuff, like things I can't chat about. I want to debate with these. It's things I find interesting. He was just boom. So I learned a lot from that day. I was like, how he spoke, how he knows where he's looking at each camera at a time, how he speaks, and some like everything's so precise. He knows when to speak, when not to speak. He's so well trained, man. He's got the art to a T. And when you see things like Piers Brosnan and all these podcasts, you realise how good he is. Piers Brosnan's a shark.
Piers Morgan,
Piers Brosnan.
I was thinking he's not interviewed by James.
Like, what's you waffling? Piers Morgan.
I'm like, I swear James Bond wasn't interviewing him.
Yeah, punch drunk, yeah. Piers Morgan, and you can tell Piers Morgan's a shark, and he's good at what he does. Piers Morgan grills people. I think Tate won that debate, came back, he looks solid, and so I learned of him, and he's a good friend. We've got a few projects coming up, and he's a few businesses he's going to set up here, and top guy, honestly. He gets a lot of stick and flack online and bullshit, but
I think actually the tide is turning on him. I think even more women are starting to look deeper into his content and seeing the fact of like a lot of this misogyny was probably misclaimed on a lot of things. There was a lot of stuff that was taken out of context, slapped together unfairly. But a lot of the content that he's creating, he's actually just saying, no, women should be cherished and like they should be looked after.
Yeah, listen, the guy, anyone who hates him hasn't either watched what he says or hasn't bothered or has just got a dislike and just wants to be a Karen or jump on the bandwagon. Because if you really, truly listen to what he's saying, all right, yes, some of the delivery is a bit off, but everyone is like that. I'll sit here now and maybe describe something. I thought I've said something well, but I've looked back and think, that didn't make sense. It's normal. It's delivery. Sometimes
it's context. It's context.
Just the context, but he's not really done anything bad. Look, in his younger days, he said a few things. He says, look, you're editing clips from my last 10, 12 years. Bro, if you looked at some of my old socials or had a recording of what I've said 2 years ago, you'd be like, what? No, it's everyone. You're human beings. That's part of life, but the gist of what he's doing is very good. The gist of giving confidence to these young introverted kids, confidence how to earn money, saying to women, you're empowered. You don't have to show your arse cheeks on an app and think that's cool or live that lifestyle and think, oh, why me or this or that or why haven't I settled down? Because obviously, like, no offense if you're going to do that, but going around shaking your booty all day and being promiscuous or showing your whole body to someone else, it's not going to have a guy go, you know what, I want to wifey her. Like, if you want to do that, each their own, but he's traditional like myself. That's what I relate. And we're all about what is wrong with the generation we're from where our mothers were around or a woman wants to be a housewife. Why not? Why can't she be a mother? What is wrong with being that? It doesn't mean a guy saying you stay in the home and cook. No. She's chosen that path. She wants to look after and raise kids. That's the harder job than anything in the world. A mother, I'm telling you, I've got 2 daughters, 3.5. 1 hour babysitting them, bro, I'm going to kill myself. I'm like, here's a TV, here's some chocolate, go. 24/7, brushing their teeth, potty training them, teaching how to speak, eat, how to have morals, values, cook, clean. Take them to school, bring them back, take them to gymnastics. At the same time, not losing your cool because they're picking up everything you say, how to behave, how to network, how to socialise. Bro, that's all day, every day. They jump in your bed at night because they're having a nightmare. Bro, it's the hardest thing on the world. And women are molded and born to do that. It's a gift God's given them to have that patience to do that. Men can't handle it. You try and do it. Have my daughters for 4 hours, yeah? I swear to you, you'll have your eyebrow hair will go.
Yeah, mate, honestly, I had my niece and nephew. I took them to this Jurassic event in England in the summer. I was with him for 2.5 hours, and I wasn't fucked like physically, but mentally I was fatigued in my mind.
So my point is, like, it's hard, yeah? And he's saying, look, these women are now saying, this new feminism group, woke movement, men are this scum, women should go out and do this, don't settle down. And he's like, no, what is... Through thousands of years, we've come this far because of this. Why are you trying to change the route? Yes, equality in women, he agrees, I agree. Women should earn as much. If you want to work, do what you want. Achieve, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, you want to be... Whatever you want to do, you can do. But don't diss the women who want to be traditional, who want to be housewives, who want to be mothers, who want to have families, who believe, and I believe, the man's role is to provide, the woman's role to university to run the show. That's what we believe, and you can't. If we believe that, what's your issue? And I believe, and it's successful through time, shown it works.
Mate, I hear exactly what you're saying, because like obviously I was brought up in a family where my mum and dad have been married like 44 years. Like there's roles. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like she had a little part-time job and looked after the house and looked after me and my sister and did all that stuff, and he went out to work and had the business and provided the money and facilitated the growth of the family and made sure that they didn't have just a family home. He went and bought investment properties 100%. And all this kind of stuff, because he wanted to make sure that, and as soon as they had enough investment property, she didn't have to work anymore and all this kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's how it
works.
went.
And the thing is, like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
They're trying to kill off this kind of alpha male, or this toxic masculinity they kind of use. They're trying to kill off the dominant male. And when I mean dominant, I don't mean, you do this. No, just the man, the leader of the home, or
a man who steps up to his responsibilities.
Leader of the family, the protector. It doesn't mean the abuser, no. I mean the protector, whereas, like you said, look, we're equal rights. Everyone's equal, but there's roles. Like you said, there's the man has a role, the woman has a role. We have strengths in different ways. Our body makeup's made in different ways. Men are there to protect the woman, look after them, look after the children, run out and work, provide like an animal in the kingdom, bring the food and make sure the whole, like cubs or whole things are eating.
And the woman facilitates holding all that together.
Yeah,
and
she's the university, but the education. She keeps the warmth. She supports the man, but the way things are, and he's just speaking the truth and like pushing these agendas and saying this is wrong and that, to the point where you're not going to get the happy family anymore. They want to, and what he's identifies right, they want to push that to the shelves and go, be promiscuous, be that, men should be this, men should be soft, men shouldn't say that. It should be called fireman, policeman. It should be called police person. Like
there's a big movement going on at the moment, and obviously, because I remove content from the internet, that my business is contentremoval.com, right? So I see, and I've looked after many celebrities and brands and all that stuff, and I know the narrative on the internet is pushed at the moment to females as if going out to work and running businesses and all this stuff is, you should be doing that, you should be an entrepreneur, you should be this, you should be that. It's pushed because it takes them away from being a mother. It takes them away from their actual instincts in a lot of cases. They're taught that empowerment is by showing more of their body, but that's not actually empowerment, it's disempowerment. But it's pushed and it's facilitated on them like that.
I swear, and it's like, for me especially, I'm a Muslim and I live in a Muslim country, and I try my best to live by the boundaries of Islam, but it's the point where they say, and especially to the Muslim, we're oppressing women, they're oppressed, they're covered. You tell me, where is the book of what is right, what's wrong? Like who justifies, or who's got the right to say you're wrong, I'm right? We're in London, we're in the US, we say this is right, you're backward. I mean, where's the measurement from this come? That's what I want to say. This is our podcast like that. It's a podcast room in the gym. My point is, like, this Qatar World Cup, this is big in the news now, and it's really frustrating me how the West and the media are trying to portray Qatar as this backward, medieval Muslim country. Oh, they ban rainbow flags. You can't have alcohol in stadiums. The women there they're grabbed and they're put in these black things to cover their... It's not like that. Like, women, by choice, cover their heads. They see that as empowerment. They see that as...
No one can judge what a woman in Qatar does unless they've walked a day in a woman in Qatar's life. Because a lot of the women in Qatar, the way they're brought up, it's their respect for themselves that make them want to probably cover up themselves, because it's their religion, isn't it? So
I'm not saying to women you should cover up. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying who's right and who's wrong. If you want to wear what you want to wear, that's your choice. No problem. But don't go on someone because she wants to cover up. She feels that's her duty, or she feels comfortable being modest or covered by choice. You cannot say she is being kind of like oppressed or she's backward. No, who's right? That's my point. Where's this kind of measuring ruler where that's right and that's wrong? Everyone's got their choice. That's my point. They try to push this agenda. Like with the World Cup, you saw a lot of this bias and racism come out and Islamophobia. And I really for the first time saw it where they're like, no alcohol in stadiums. Okay, but it's their country. It's up to them. You've got. I was in Qatar. There's alcohol everywhere. Fan zones free. People are getting drunk, pissed up, having their fun. Just at the stadiums like France at the time did. In France as well, people forget in the Euros, no alcohol in the stadiums. Let me tell you what happened as a result. I'm sitting in the England game against Wales, right? With the English fans having fun. There's a few thousand Welsh right there. If that was a normal stadium, yeah, believe me, with alcohol and cocaine and drugs, there'd be riots and violence. Everyone's having banter, laughing. I'm going, oh, look at your flag. And we're throwing jokes at each other. Everyone's getting on. There's kids, there's mums, there's babies. Wales lost. England got. We're all walking out of the stadium together. Everyone's having pictures, chatting, eating food. There was like a big like street there and fan zones. Everyone's having kebabs after, McDonald's, enjoying the festivities, dancing together. You never see that, especially a rivalry like in the UK, like England and Wales, or Brazil, Argentina might be next, or whatever. Like, for example, a South American team, Derby. I was like, wow, the West, why don't they write about this? Or there's alcohol there, or people were dressing as they want. They said rainbow flags for a reason. It's banned in the country, like, to be pushing that agenda. It doesn't mean you can't be gay. It's not like that. There's loads of homosexuals probably there. They said no public PDA, public displays of affection. So even if you're with a girlfriend and you're like smooching in public, that would be illegal. They'd say stop it. That's what they mean. So the media's like, oh, you'll get killed. You're not. Like,
but they latch on and find another narrative. They put the rainbow flag with the public display, and they make 2 + 2 makes 7.
Look, the same way they've got the rules. It's like Muslims going to UK with a Muslim flag and loads of Qurans and saying you should all wear that Arabic, the Islamic Shahada on your armbands, and we want this flag here everywhere risen. We won't even say it. Why? Because you've got your own religion, your own ways of life. Same way you shouldn't do that. It's the same equivalent of them doing that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it. It's like UK's got their rules, respect the laws of land, and don't do that. Same way as the Arab world, Africa, South America, East Europe, China. So that's what annoyed me. And I was like, it's ridiculous. Like, they even stopped the ceremony. And Qatar, honestly, what they've done with the World Cup, for me, is probably the greatest World Cup I've ever seen. Because of the upsets, because of the organisation, because of the hospitality. I was there. I can say, not from a media perspective, I'm a Westerner, but a Muslim. So I see the best of both worlds.
The first time, obviously, I was in a fan zone in Dubai, just down there. I went with my mate James. And it's like unreal environment, and everyone was... Obviously,
fun, yeah.
there was drinking, and obviously that I don't drink myself. Yeah. I never have, but like there's a lot of people there drinking this and the other, but no trouble, no fights, no. Because over here, there's you know what's going to happen if you get in any trouble and any fights, or people know here that there's probably drugs around, but people don't. It's not consumed like it is in the UK or Australia or somewhere like that, because people have the respect, because they know that if they get caught with that stuff, they know there's some serious consequences.
So look at society now. Look at the West. Your watch, you'll never wear that watch anywhere in central London. If you're alone, you could possibly get knifed, acided, or jacked just for that watch. Straight up. I'm telling you now. And that's a risk you're going to willing to take. So police will actually come to you, file a report. Well, mate, why did you wear that, you know? It's not really safe to walk in.
You can't,
I'm in Carnaby Street. Well, it's not. Come to Dubai, leave this, take your watch off, leave a Louis Vuitton wallet. I promise you, anywhere come back is there. Promise you. We could do a social experiment.
So what is it about Dubai that you think's so good then?
I think it's the whole GC. I think, firstly, and again, I'm not pushing that, I believe because they live by the Islamic laws and rules, that itself is a perfect system for society. For example, it's outlawed stealing, outlawed to flip someone off in public, swear, fighting. If that happens here, you're all getting arrested. I can't even say now, you leave, me and you leave. I'm thinking, Frankie's a prick. I put an Instagram picture like that. You don't see it. Frankie's a dickhead. You can go to the police, a defamation report. I'll be in jail or I've got to pay a big fine. Defamation. In the UK, people abuse the Queen. Whether you like her or not, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Oh, I protest this outside stores or don't eat that, or vegans. Okay, I respect everyone. If you want to be a vegan, be a vegan. If you're against animal cruelty, I respect that. But you can't come to a business and abuse a sales worker who has no clue. He's just getting this little 9-to-5 payment, and he's paying for his bills, and you're just sitting there throwing paint at things or abusing the business or going against them. Here you would be arrested. It's organised, it's respectful. So my point is, the way of the law of the land here is amazing. People know the consequences. People know there's no drugs, it's banned for a reason. Look what drugs does to society.
It's safe. It's tax efficient. And from what I've seen, there's an abundance of opportunity here that I've not seen in other places.
I'll tell you something now, yeah? And you can put this out as a clip. There's things which are outlawed in Islam. Right? I'm going to tell to your audience now. And a haram, which means sinful and not allowed for reasons. Gambling, alcohol, drugs, public fornication, sleeping around like relentlessly, yeah? Murder and stealing. Now look at all societies in the world where the issues stem from. What does gambling do to most people? Brings you in debts. What does debts do? You go out, you rob, you do crime as a result to get the payment back. You're in this hole.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle.
No one wins in gambling. No one wins, yeah? Drugs. Tell me one benefit of drugs. There's not one benefit. Unless it's a herbal remedy for a cancer dying patient, there's no benefit of taking cocaine. And there's no benefit to drugs. It brings a lawless society. Again, crime, drug dealers, robberies, stealing for it, getting addictions to crack. The whole epidemic you saw in the 80s in New York or up north in England. You've got that. A society where fornication and this is abundance, prostitution or OnlyFans, or everyone sleeping with each other, having affairs, on like breaking families, poor kids, single mothers with no fathers running away, just promiscuity. It results in a society or status which breaks society. Now, these things are outlawed here for a reason. Swearing, gangster, like, all right, crime's illegal in UK, yeah? Crime, like drug dealing, abuse, murder. But yet they'll pay millions to have a rapper promote that on stage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not allowed, but let's pay this guy, say, fuck the police, I killed him, I shot him 10 bloods, and all these kids are like, yeah, bum, bum, bum. They don't know what they're doing. This is illegal, but let me push this. Let me give this guy a platform to sing in front of millions. They don't know what they're doing themselves in the West. It's just money making. Whatever makes their money won't stop gambling, casinos, betting free. They make money from that. Drugs, they make money from. They make money from this. They make money from red light districts, from OnlyFans, from prostitution, from strip clubs. It makes money. They don't care what the outcome will be. Here, these are outlawed. When you have these things outlawed, society functions better. I'm not saying everyone has their problems. Yeah, you get this. I'm not saying blaming people for getting to that or whatever. But when you have a society which lives by certain values, Judeo-Christian or whatever, don't have to believe in it, whatever, but the proof is in the pudding. Society works better. I have my kids. I could never raise my kids in the UK. I'm sorry. England's home. I love England. When they're playing the World Cup, I want them to win. Any English person comes here, I'm happy bumping into one in a supermarket. Oh, where are you from? But I could never let my daughters be raised there. It's not safe. Where could you raise them? You tell me. Central London, the richest areas, crime. Like, you have murders. I mean, a police officer murdered a poor girl in the park. You know that kind of story what came out in the UK lately? A jogger, off-duty policeman. You can't ever trust the police. The police have no power.
Yeah.
These podgy old men with glasses. All right, mate, you've parked your car here. I mean, if I said, no, I'm not going to move, what are you going to do? No one's scared of the police. No one's scared of teachers. They abuse teachers, abuse police. Police get attacked. Come and do that to a policeman here.
Yeah.
Say it. So, flip someone off in public, or my daughters can run in the mall at night, up and down. I can just stay here. I'll never think, God forbid, of a poor Jamie Bolger case, what happened in the UK.
Yeah.
Never see it. You wouldn't see a Jimmy Savile walk around looking. There's no paedophiles.
Yeah.
Giving out Werther's originals outside schoolyards. You don't get it. Everything's Big Brother state to a point where to get a SIM card, you've got to be registered. You have to have ID. I like that.
The way that they've done it, and the way you can move around here, and the opportunities that you can get here, it's just crazy.
Because why is it opportunity? Why is everyone coming here? Because it's safe. People can say what they want. People like to be in a safe society. So if you've got a girlfriend, a wife, or a mother, she can walk any time of the night. You're never going to stress, has she kidnapped, God forbid, gang raped, or some dirty incident, it doesn't happen. Because what people know, the consequences, they won't even think. And I tell you, before it, God forbid, if anything happened, the police will have him within a few hours.
I left my phone here in the back of an Uber the first time I came here for 3 weeks on the way back to Australia the first time. And the guy just drove around the corner especially to deliver it back to me. And it's just things like that just wouldn't happen in other countries, because I've took Ubers in many countries, and that kind of service doesn't happen. It's just little things like, you know, I walk down by the address beach and there's people there with watches, and they'll just take them off and they'll put them on the side of on that wooden table, and I've seen some proper watches on these geezers like that. Like it's like I saw.
They're houses on the wrist.
Yeah. There's like 350k. This
houses, yeah.
That's free, and he gets up and he walks past me, and I'm just walking. I'm just getting my steps in, and he puts it there, and then left on the table and walks in. I'm like, that's some crazy shit. But that is Dubai.
That's
Dubai is abundance. So people here don't talk about recessions. They don't talk about that negative stuff because it's so abundant.
That's testimony to the leadership as well. That's why the leader here, Sheikh Mohammed's done a great job. Leads by example. I was in a restaurant the other day. The Sheikh, the ruler himself, Sheikh Mohammed, walked in a restaurant. I'm here. He's at a table there. No security, saying hello to everyone. He literally sent food to my table as a gesture because he knew it was my wife's birthday or whatever. Like, food, and left. Takes pictures. Would you see Boris Johnson do that? Honestly, would you ever see Angela Merkel or Donald Trump? You'd never see them. They'd have that, guards, get out of the way, don't use your phones, push through. You'd never see. Could you ever go up to Prince Philip or Prince William or, Prince Philip's gone, or Prince William or Harry and say, I've got this problem, like my wife's struggling, or I can't afford the operation, or you couldn't even get access to them. They have access here.
They have access, yeah.
They have access. The rulers say, what's the issue? They'll fix it. If someone can't afford treatment, they'll look after a business. If you the other day, some Indian labour workers, a cat was falling off a building. It sounds fake. It's really true. It was you could see the video went viral. They put this big blanket and stopped it. The next day, Sheikh sent reward to all of them, which is life-changing. Just for that. Boris Johnson won't even know you are.
Yeah.
He come in, probably do a line of coke somewhere. That's leadership. That's why the people and everyone's happy. When you have people who really care about the people, that matters. That's why I love society here. They literally, look, we've got war veterans, people who fought in England in the army, or long-serving workers who are homeless, who are shivering in the winter. The government don't care. They do not care. Here, every local Emirati who is born an Emirati is given land, given discounts on food and gas. If you're water, they're looked after for life.
Yeah.
Weddings are paid for.
Yeah.
Imagine. Why would you not love? Why would you not respect that ruler or that land and think, I'm not going to do crime. I'm not going to do that because what they do for me. You see what I mean? That's the difference. You can't buy that. You can't teach that. That is society. That's from leadership. That's why this country is so good. UK, they're all about filling their pockets. Do you know what I mean? I want to get 10. I'm just going to make money. I'm going to get that guy to do that industry. I'm going to get that because they're all getting bribes.
So for the people listening then, what kind of people and what kind of businesses do you think now can be built here?
Sky, anything. As long as it doesn't break the boundaries, obviously, of their religion, which is meaning like marijuana farms and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything, bro. Anything which is booming or there's a niche or popular, here's the place to come. Why? Because you've got the networking capital of the world. Everyone's here now. Everyone's here. From YouTubers, celebrities, to businessmen, to sportsmen. You could walk in a mall, you'll bump into someone. And here is an idea. You can, 1 in 10 people wouldn't put you in the right direction. You can keep speaking. I've got this plan. I've got this business presentation. It's a vape. I want to bring this vaping thing. It's cool. It's got this logo. Guarantee you, within 1 in 10 people, you'll meet someone who knows someone who can put you in the right direction. And here's a place to raise money, raise capital. You name it. I honestly believe if you're young, you're not settled down, you haven't got commitments back wherever you are, take that risk. Come here. There's many places to live outskirts of Dubai which are affordable. There's apartment sharing. They do everything here.
What would you say then the cost of living here would be for someone starting?
It's hard to
say. As a rough rule of thumb, what like 5k a month, 10k a month? What
dirhams?
No, in pounds, dollars.
Much less. You could get a studio rental in a place called Jumeirah Village Triangle or Jumeirah Village Circle, which is 10 minutes from where we are, Dubai Marina. You could get a studio rent for $1,000 a month rent, minimum, and it's furnished, TV, internet. Literally, it's like 5-star for UK. You could pay less. You could pay £400 a month and have an apartment share with someone, like in a 1-bed with an expat, a nice apartment, fully furnished. Food, it's whatever you want. The supermarkets here cheap. Don't think as a tourist, the big malls. There are a lifestyle here of supermarkets who are affordable. You have scooter ranks everywhere. Not like getting stopped. You can go anywhere on public. The metro, you can go for 10 or £5. You can go from here to the airport, which is an hour drive usually.
Yeah,
for like £5. Taxis are cheap. It's very affordable, bro. If you really look out and meet the right people. Don't look at Dubai bling. I want to live in a villa, Burj Al Arab. If you look at the right places, it's really good communities. They're all safe. They're not like, there's no ghettos here. There's no crime. And then from there, meet people, come out your plans. Dubai is so big but so small. Everyone knows everyone. You could go out now and say, do you know a guy called Tam Khan? Go to a few places. You'll find me without asking on Google. I could find you, like, if you're registered or not, just go to a few people. And by the end of the day, I'll find out where you are. Just, I can meet you like that. It's like that.
I mean, the reason why I recently left Australia is, one, because I want to take my podcast to the next level. But two, because it's like, even when you run a business, like, you're not only paying the taxes, you're paying the tax on everything you spend, plus you've got the bureaucracy of like doing accounting and all that stuff. And when you're living in a location like this, and you don't just save on the taxes, you save a lot of money on the compliance of all the other stuff that you have to do.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying tax is a bad thing, because that's part of the law, but what are you getting for your taxes? What are you paying for? If I'm in England now, paying all that tax, what are they giving me in return? Crime's up.
Your bins out.
What? I've got to do my own bins. There's no milk coming to my door anymore.
Yep.
Crime's at an all-time high. There's no security. Lights are going off at 8 p.m. They're saving on lights. Everyone's cold. Everyone's done. What am I paying you for? For what? I don't want to give tax anymore. What am I getting from that tax? The country's a shithole. There's elderly people dying. People have to queue up in the NHS for hours to see a doctor, months to be seen. Like, what are you getting for it? Nothing. You might as well privatise everything. Might as well, because it's not working anymore. So I would say, even if I have to, I won't pay tax. What are you giving me? It's like I buy an apartment and you get service charges. Service charge, you're asking, what does that cover? Security here, gym, swimming pool access. So I go, okay, I know the lifts, servicing, this delivery, laundry, whatever. All right, cool, done. UK, tell me what your tax, what is it supposed to go to? Tell me. I still don't know. I watch the news, these taxes gone up. All these people who are making money, I understand why the wealthy are leaving. They're working so hard. They've built these successful businesses. Don't blame them. They're thinking, fuck that. What am I staying there for? Like, I've spent my whole life working, built this empire, and some little rat can jump over my fence, stab me, take my car, and you're going to go, give him a month in a nice prison with a fucking hotel and a TV. It's bullshit, bro. The system's shit. Doesn't work. That's why the UAE, the Middle East, Saudi, you'll see Saudi in the next 10 years. It's going to boom. The West will be saying the Middle East and Arabs are backward. You'll see this reversing. God forbid it doesn't happen, but everyone will be laughing at the West. Give it 10, 15 years, that'll be the third world. Mark my words, look this back in 10, 15 years. The UK is going to be a third world country, and everyone's going to be running to UAE and Middle East. Why? Because they live by morals, rules, the government, Muslim society where it's accountable and it looks after its people. Christian, Jew, whatever you are, it's there to protect the people in that society, make sure everyone's safe, healthy, happy, and everything works to a right system. Not like the West, bro. It's finished.
Yeah, no, mate, I've lived in an abundant. Obviously, I've left the UK 8.5 years ago. I've lived a beautiful life in Australia. The only problem for me in Australia is the fact of, like, I'm isolated from all the guests that I now want to take myself to the next level. So I thought to myself, do you know what? I will base myself between Dubai, the UK, and America to be able to allow me to facilitate taking this thing to the next level to give the audience value. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to burn your ships to make that happen. Yeah. But I think
it's a shame, bro, because UK, there's no city like London, bro, on earth.
No,
there's nowhere you can. London is London.
It's the best city in the world,
bro. It's the best, but it's a shame. Sadiq Khan, the guy's a donkey. Like, how is he still there? Like, what is he doing? What's his job? Mayor of what? He's a clown. That guy, yeah. The other day, I never really had an issue with him, but the other day he said something like, Qatar, they're going to stop they're going to review Qatar as a country advertising, yeah, on the London Underground or the transport system because of their human rights things. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. UK is going through a recession crisis now. 80% of the funding in London is from Qatar.
They own the airports.
British Airways, banks, you name it, Harrods, the real estate, the Arab invasion summers, the money they put into tourism, yeah, they're the only real tourists because Russia's gone now, yeah? Investments, right? They're bringing over, I think, 4 to 10 billion worth of pounds, yeah? And it's growing up to 40. And you want to ban them from doing that? What? Are you mad? What if they say, you know what, F off, we're pulling all our money out, see ya. Then what? This idiot is like, I don't understand. So these are the kind of people in leadership in the UK. That's why it's going down the pan. There's no real leaders for the people. There's no real leaders who care about the people. They care for finance, and that's the problem. Here, they care for the people, man. I'm telling you, I can say stories of sheikhs seeing guys in a bad car struggling on the side road, putting a tyre up. They stop. The next day, a guy's got a new car delivered. A woman can't afford. She's a single mum, or a guy's got an illness, and they pay for all the funding of the medical. These are things that I see. I've been around them. I see it on a daily basis. People don't talk about. That's because they care for the population.
There's a lot of darker things reported from these nations, but at the end of the day, when you actually come here, my experience has been very good. Like in terms,
but you've been here. The darker things are from people who've never been here. It's just clickbait. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Always speak to someone who's lived here, someone like yourself who's travelled and been there. And like I said, I wish the UK had a leader like the guys here the sheikhs here who want the best for the people. Say, right, you know what? It's
for business. This place is set up for doing business and for having a good life. That's essentially what it is. It's like they've got their money from oil and
actually
gas.
In Dubai, no. Dubai's not oil. Dubai's purely tourism, and that's Abu Dhabi and Saudi. They've built it from tourism to the point where people come here, and you'll see more people even given long citizenships now and everything. So it's not like the old days. You don't need a sponsor to open a business. They've changed that. You can give birth outside. They've changed a lot of laws, so they're catering. They're even adjusting for the West to say, look, here's a new hub. Here's a new place they're building. I'm telling you.
They made it real straightforward for me to get my
yeah.
I literally did half of my residency before I physically came here, and then when I physically came here, it was like blood test, this, that, and the other. Sign a few forms, go down here, do this fingerprint here, boom, boom, boom. ID done. And do you know what? I was thinking when I go to these places for these appointments, it's going to take ages of being a queue. It's like you're in, you're out, your blood test is done. It's so good. You can order things 24 hours a day.
6 weeks in the UK, you'll be like, oh, mate, where's my national insurance card? Let me just send another one off. DVLA, 10 weeks later it comes. Oh, sorry, Royal Mail are on strike, mate. Ain't come.
I would advise anyone listening to this podcast that if you're between the ages of, say, anywhere between 18 and 35 especially, it's like there's no reason why you shouldn't have a second residency in Dubai. Even if you don't live here all year round or you come here, you should have a second residency as an option for yourself, and you should potentially set up a business in terms of like a free zone business.
Yeah, look, if you're that age and you're young and you've got no responsibilities, no wife, no kids, or husband and kids, or commitments, like you might have a sick relative or someone you've got to look after or care, if you've got no strings attached, take that risk now. I say to everyone, it's booming. Look at Saudi, yeah? Look at these regions. Saudi are investing trillions to build that country. It's like Dubai 10, 15 years ago.
Well, they're just going to build that line.
What they're doing there, they're throwing money as well. So if you've got no strings attached, go to Saudi, because this is a time where the pioneers will be. This is a time to be the first at doing MMA gym or Top Golf, whatever. Now's the time to go Saudi and set up. So anyone listening, Saudi also is another option, because the difference between that 1% who make it are the ones who take that risk and go now. Trust me, that's the difference. That 1% you see online when you see these Andrew Tates or these people you follow. These are the people who thought, they assess, boom, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And if you want to access success, me, I'm content. Alhamdulillah, my life. I want to raise my kids. They've got a good school here. I love the vibe. I love the people here. It's like just the vibe, my family, friends, and but for those people who really, if it was me and if I was single and young, bro, not even about young, but if I was single and no comfortable thing with my kids and they didn't love their school, I'll be in Saudi tomorrow, because I know the potential. If money was my goal, if money was my goal and success, bro, Saudi, go now. Mark my words, go Saudi.
I've got girl mates over there now, and they love it.
Network Saudi, they've got money like you can't imagine. They're building this crazy society. It's gonna be the hut, bro. You just trust me. I knew about this years back. I was seeing people, all the big fours, PwC, the Deloitte, everyone's setting up base there, and my sister was there for some work, and she goes, "This is 4 or 5 years ago." She goes, "Go Saudi. That place is, I mean." From sport, look at sport, boxing, and all the events they're doing, and all the concerts.
They're buying all this.
They want it to be a tourist hub. They want to welcome people away from that bad stigma. And I honestly believe anyone who's got an idea, try Saudi. Nothing to lose. And if you make it there, you're making it. Just give me 10% of whatever you make as my advice for going there. I'm telling you now. I'm not going to say on here what I know and of people who I know and things, but go Saudi, go there for a few weeks and network, because I'm telling you, it will change your life. Dubai is amazing, but it's a lot of competition. I'll be honest. Dubai is like, in a way, saturated right now. Everyone's here, and the best of everyone in the world. I mean, literally, told you that Mike Tyson's in town. You've got filming movies. The director of Rush Hour's here. So if you're in the movie business, you've got to compete with them. The biggest gyms, the biggest nightclubs, the biggest the CEO of Binance lives here. I mean, in crypto world, the biggest are here. So it is the best place in the world, but at the same time, the competition's high. So you've got to really work hard, and you know. But in Saudi, it's fresh. It's fresh, and sky's the limit. So my advice to all of you, if you want to take a risk, and you've got an idea, you've got a good concept, and you really believe in it, so you should go to Saudi. Give it a go, whether it's an app or anything. Yeah,
I love it, mate. Because at the end of the day, like all these people out there that want to change their life, they've got to change their location potentially.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do it, and we're not both saying if you're in UK you can't, mate. You can. Not
the UK, not Australia. Like if you're in the UK and Australia, like they're both are really good lives. Like
they're amazing, and there's opportunities everywhere. But I'm saying, if you the networking capital of the world now for me is Dubai, but I think Saudi is a place for innovation and ideas, and it's a place to really explore, because they're hungry, they're looking at new ideas, new concepts. They're looking for things which can benefit the country. What can you bring to the country? What can make it?
And if you can bring a skill, or an idea or anything, they've got the funds to back
anything what appeals to or tourism.
Yeah. I've not been to Saudi Arabia yet, but you've made me want to go there.
Bro, trust me. And funds when you talk about money and funds are not a problem. Right? There's money, and there's, as Saudi the old Busta Rhymes track, Arab money.
Yeah, and actually Saudi's just done a mad deal with the Chinese as well. They've signed I think it's BRICS agreement with the Chinese, which now aligns them and other countries as trading partners, which may mean in the future that the obviously the US dollar being the global currency may take a hit in the future, because obviously Saudi and China, and Saudi's obviously the oil capital and all that stuff. So
another place also is Qatar, Doha, because now after World Cup they've changed a policy where you don't need a local sponsor again. So Doha will open to a nice place, beautiful place. So you see the GCC, while that, unfortunately, which I hate to see because UK's home, is kind of declining, this area is just booming.
Yeah,
it's booming, and I think youngsters who've got nothing to lose like a little nice hot weather. Give it a go. Take it a risk. What's the worst that can happen?
Can you live? What's the worst that can happen? Can you live it all year round though? Because it does get super hot.
Brother, I love it. It's any country. Can you live in the UK all year round? Look, today it's snowing. It's snowing.
I know. Yeah.
You know, in heat and sitting there shivering. Oh, I've got to get some milk. You've got to drive to that local park. Ice. The cars sliding. Come on. Everywhere in the world, there's nothing perfect.
Yeah.
There's I'd rather have it hot than that this winter, God forbid, with the crisis in UK. I really pray for the people, and I pray for the elderly, bro. It's not going to be nice.
Australia to me was the perfect country, the perfect place, the perfect environment, the perfect amount of abundance. But it's just the fact of because it's got all that on an island, and it's so far away from everything that everyone will need to sit down with and do business.
Every country will have its flaw, bro.
So there's flaws in everything.
5 hours just to get out of Australia. I think it is.
It's 5 hours. Yeah. 5 hours just to get from Brisbane to Perth.
There's no such thing as perfection, but if there was a thing close to perfection, I think Dubai would be.
I think the way it's situated in the world, so you can get to anywhere in a short amount of time, is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's the centre of the world, like you said. UK to Australia is 24 hours. That's why I never flew there. I think it's a whole day's trip. Australia to Singapore to here is quite. You can go to Singapore, Asia, Africa, the US, Europe, everything central to UAE.
One thing I want to talk to you about before we nick off the podcast is, obviously, you went massively viral on social media when you were the guy pictured with Andrew Tate in the mosque and converting to Islam and all that stuff. And obviously, there was a lot of virality from that because of the fact of he was a massively practicing Christian man. Obviously, massively believed in Christianity, and then obviously he converted. How did that all come about?
That came about because Andrew himself found that Islam's the truth, and especially for him. And he realized after studying a lot, like many do, that, you know, there's too many hypocrisies and flaws in other religions he was studying. He got to a point where he was saying, okay, I've got this holy book, which I respect all religions, Christianity, Judaism, we're all came from the same background basis, but unfortunately during time, messages and books were tampered with, hence God brought the Quran as a final seal to man. And he'd see things like the Old Testament would say this, but the New Testament says this. This is not allowed yet. You've got gay priests. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying against religion, it's a hypocrisy. If I say to you, yeah, you're going to train, we don't believe in burgers and chips because we're athletes, but you sit me eating burgers and chips all day, you'd be like, bro, you're waffling, yeah? And he saw a lot of hypocrisy. He saw how society's put it to a shelf. The church is only good for Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, have a few hymns, and there. Then he saw Islam. He's like, okay, why is it okay and people just disrespect Jesus, who's a prophet, who we all love? They write pictures and shirts, and you get these Satanists and these Marilyn Manson bands, and they're just like, yeah, and it's cool. You do that about the Muslim prophet, you won't last a minute. You won't even walk out the road. You go to a Christian and give $1 million and say, you know, accept whatever, like a trans, like say priest. It's okay now. Go to an imam. Go to a delivery driver who makes $500 a month. This is my test. You give him, if you could, show him $1 million cash, which will change a generation of him. Say, denounce Islam on this video now. Go ask anyone, they'll never do it. Go ask any other religion, they'll do it. And I'm not listening to religions. Go ask any Muslim how poor they are. $1 million to a guy who's probably got no limbs. India, you name it, who's Muslim. Give him $1 million and say, here's $1 million on this video now. Denounce Islam and come and join this whatever. Guarantee you won't find one person unless he's mentally disturbed. Now tell me, why is that? That's the power of the religion. That's the power of the faith we have in our religion. No other religion can do that. You could never make me do something, whatever, to thing, not because I fear, because I know the truth, and it's the respect we have for God and the message. And that's what Tate said to me, bro, that's what I respect. It's the honor. You don't sway out this way. And how society is going, Islam has an answer for everything. It has that respect. It doesn't tolerate everything, because if you tolerate everything, then
if you tolerate everything, you are nothing.
You are. It's just like, yeah, let's try this, next thing. Like, look, each their own. There's some things I don't agree with as a Muslim, but I'm not going to abuse them and say no, but just don't enforce it on me. I want to enforce myself on you. I don't agree with certain things, I'm not going to say, but it's the way they enforce it on society to kill off traditional society. Man, woman, mother, child. Everyone's got their own story and what they want to be, but for me, another thing, I don't want this agenda pushed on my children, man. Like in schools, what they're trying to push. I think as parents, they don't have a say. In the UK, if you go against it, they can arrest you, take your kids away.
Yeah, Australia too.
Yeah, what is that? Like, my kids are just about 3.5, right? I've never, ever, I promise you now, told them to say anything or nothing. I don't push anything. Me and my wife don't. Naturally, they've gone, Baba, nail polish, get me that makeup, I'm Barbie. I just try and make them box. Come here, let's wrestle. It's an inclination them to do that. As kids, play football, oh, He-Man, we're like, it's inbuilt in them. Now they're trying to confuse kids. No, let them, come on, man, what do kids know? What do we still know? At 16, we never knew what we were doing. They're putting this agenda, and he doesn't like that, and he saw that, but he saw Muslim countries, how Muslims live, and how Islam has a system for everything. It's not just about pray 5 times, but how you give charity, how you respect your neighbours, how you respect others, how if you've got an enemy, a Muslim, like if I'm a Muslim, like I see someone struggling, you look after them, you look out for them, give them food. It's a united people, and that's why it's growing so well. The system works. It's through centuries, and the system in countries, when it's implemented, works. Societies, like you see now.
Peaceful.
It's not. You don't. Have you seen a policeman with a gun? Have you seen a policeman anywhere?
No.
Be honest.
No.
Tell me if you see a police on the street. Why?
Doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be. People know because it's got Islamic rule. They know. It's not scared. It's just disrespect.
But even though this country is run, or city, however you want to put it, is run on Muslim law, it's very much open to the West. It's very. I feel very comfortable here. Like I know I wouldn't go doing some of the stupid things that would get me in trouble anyway. But I feel very like there's not much that could go wrong as long as I just do what I normally would and live respectfully. Like
every society, and Islamic teaches us, whatever your beliefs, we have to respect other people's beliefs. Let them live here. practice their religion, practice their faith. Just don't push your agenda. For example, like I said, if you're in UK to Muslims, don't push Islam on everyone. I want a Sharia state. It's wrong. That's a sin. It's a Christian country. It's an English country. Respect the laws of the land. As long as they don't make you not practice your religion, which England don't. England's the most open country on earth. You can pray what you want. Muslims are allowed to fast, have mosques everywhere. Respect the laws of the land. Same way here. So, like you said, Western, you're allowed to enjoy everything in privacy of a home. You've got bars, you've got clubs, you've got everything here. But it's just the general rules for everyone are the same. And everyone lives amongst each other. You've got more religions here under one roof. You've got, I think they've identified more cultures here than United Nations in this one country. Everyone's living.
What I've seen and what I've known is the fact of, like, I think all humans inherently need a belief in something bigger than themselves in order to feel whole. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether that's what religion that is, and it doesn't matter if that's the universe, if you're more spiritual, but you need to believe in something bigger than yourself. Because if you just believe in, if you make, so, like, if I make this podcast my God, if I make what I'm passionate about my God, or if I have something else as my God, but there's nothing bigger than that, then I'm kind of opening myself up to feel less complete. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But what you're talking about is this natural inclination. We call it fitra in Arabic. Every human's born with it, and people don't realize everyone has it. For example, take away all this. We're on an island. We're just cavemen, yeah?
Yeah.
We're born, we're running around, killing her. You would never fuck your mum, would you? Wherever you are. Because you know there's some... No, you wouldn't. No one would. Why? Wherever you're born with no education, TV, we can't speak a language. We know something's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? You're born in say it's an open fucking canvas. You're put on a society that we don't know what schools are. There's no books, nothing. There's something inside of us tells us that's wrong.
An internal compass.
Yeah, a natural inclination. There's also that. There's also that of we need to eat. We're hungry. What's that? Put it in your mouth. You smell. There's certain things, and there's a certain thing every human has. There's some power or creator we have. Everyone has that natural inclination. That's why you see atheists screaming to God when the plane's crashing. Oh, God help me. Everyone has that when they smoke weed or they're looking at stars at night. I wonder why I'm here. There's this force, call it God, call it whatever. That's inbuilt in human, in every human, this natural inclination, this fitra. So that's why you said everyone has it, but people try and change it, Big Bang Theory and that. Look, and I didn't mean that offensive way, but I'm just saying it's a natural thing. We wouldn't do it. It's sick because we know there's something stopping us. Even if we're born as animals or cavemen, you wouldn't do it because there's something internally given to you by the creator.
You have an internal compass that sets you on the right path
without any book telling you that. That's come from something.
Yeah.
My point is, like, for example, your mum. You call her all the time. If your mum told me, "Oh, can you pick this up?" You do it. Why?
Yeah. Because it's a respect thing.
Why though?
Because it's just an internal feeling that I have to.
Well, why? If your mum told you specifically, "Look, Frank, can I get this? Can I that?" Or she's crying, you go and check her out. Why? Because it's your mum. Because your mum looked after you as a kid, your dad, they respect you. Why don't us humans respect that creator source, what gave us our mum, our dad, gave us fingers, our bodies, gave us the sun, the moon, the stars? We can't 1 minute out of our day thank this creation, what did everything for us.
Yeah.
Yet we run for our mum and dad. That's my point. So I know there's something's made this God, Allah we call it, has gave us everything, our mums, our dads, our great-grandparents, giving me the opportunity to have my children, which I love, to walk, to bend, to eat, to smell, to be healthy. I can't 5 times out of my day pray and thank this creation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
and at the end of the day, right? Even if you got to the end, right, and it came out that there wasn't a God, right? Just hypothetically speaking, your life has been better served by believing in something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Than anything else anyway.
So if you said
so irrespective of whatever anyone's belief is right now, once you start believing in something bigger than you, once you start believing in whether it's energy, whether it's the universe, whether it's Allah, whether it's Jesus, whether it's something else, once you start believing in something bigger than yourself, and it's not just you believing in the material stuff and chasing material things, that's when that part that people feel is missing internally,
100%,
that's when that becomes whole. And that, as soon as the podcast went from being a service, well, it never was a service to myself, but say I made this podcast as a service to myself, and I'm serving this podcast as a God, and it's just for me, then it's not. Then it's for the wrong reason, and I'd feel unfulfilled doing it because I do it because I believe it's being channeled down from a higher place. As in, this, I'm put here to do this, to have conversations with Tam, to allow him to talk about this, and this, and to facilitate that conversation. And then it just feels a lot better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, look, like, I'm on your platform, you're giving me an opportunity to talk. I'm talking to you, and I'm sitting here talking about Islam. We're in 2022, or the world's changing. We're talking about religion, so
yeah,
that shows the power itself. And my point is, like you said, yeah, just look at where the morals come from. Like we said, we were cavemen. It came from holy books, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. How do we know what was right? How do we know looking after your neighbor, being nice? This all comes from this. If you take religion out and fear of God and belief in God, what's going to stop everything? What's going to stop me from pillaging a village or the strongest killing? I want that woman. I want that. We become animals, man. And that's where society is going. I promise you, they will legalize pedophilia soon in the West, and they'll legalize bestiality, marrying animals. Well, I think they already do it. Some guy married a pillow, married a sheep. Society's gone mad. There's no boundary. Humans need boundary. We need discipline. We're not here just to, all right, our purpose of life is not here just to be born, run wild, do as we want, and die. Something so complex, just a human eye. Bro, our nose is above our lips for a reason, to smell the food and then taste it. Ears to hear it. It's so perfect, the creation, the eyes, the blink of an eye. Science can't mimic the blink of an eye. Yeah, and we think this is by chance, some big bang. We're here just to, like this, that. No, there's a reason. So I think everyone out there should listen. Investigate. What's the reason? Is there a creator? Once you find out what is the purpose of the creator making us, once you find that, you'll come to a conclusion. But ask that question. Don't just be sheep, man, because people are pushing this agenda out so they can control the masses. Once they if you're disconnected from there being something bigger than you, they're going to be the God for you.
Then the God for you becomes money. Then the God for you, for you becomes a Gucci bag. Then the God for you becomes Louis Vuitton,
or the government,
and
this, that. You must do this. Don't do that. And they've control. That's halas. And they've got what you want. And they've got you what you want.
And then and
that's why. Yeah.
And there's a reason why. I believe there's a reason why. I was sat there like literally 30 days ago, Tam, no word of a lie, and it came over me that I had to move, right? And it was just a feeling, an inherent thing. You have to move. You have to go talk to more people. You have to go connect with more people. You have to do this, you can't even explain how that internal conversation went. Like there has to be something bigger than you, because the way the internal conversation went for me, it was like, okay, well, that's what I have to do then. It just made so much sense.
It's like that, and we can. None of us will know the true why we act in some way. But one thing is for sure, I think everyone should, like you said, you'll never have full contentness until you research for yourself. I'm not saying become Muslim. I'm not saying this. I'm saying go out and think why you're here. Read, educate yourself in a way where, for your own self, internally, you'll be happier. For example, God bless him, Robin Williams, a comedian.
Yeah.
One of the famous actors.
He had everything, yeah.
Had everything, yet he was unhappy. There's rock stars, these, that. They have, to what we think, money, cars, can get any lady if you want, or man, or they've got it all, fame. Wherever they go, they'll get a free dinner. Oh, sir, pictures. That kind of feeling of confidence when everyone knows you, Yet they're still unhappy. What does that tell you? Well, that's actually go Bangladesh, go to India, go to the streets, go to like these Satwa areas, where the lesser earning people kind of hang in these areas. They're all smiling on the street, having karak tea, laughing. Go on the tube from Shoreditch to Bank Street, they're like that.
Yeah, because they're stuck in a
zombies. They're zombies. They don't know. They think that's life. These people are just. You need to it's not contentness, and unless you have faith, like you said, in God or whatever you need, you have to have something.
I've understood in the last 3 months that it's not about. I'm not saying let's not get into the religion stuff, but I'm on about just having a faith in something bigger than yourself is the key to feeling whole.
100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
100%.
I'm not trying to push any agenda of any religion. I couldn't care what you believe in, but you have to have a faith in something bigger than yourself in order to feel complete. And then when you feel complete, you can live your life in the most abundant way possible. And not many people are out there telling people that.
bro, it's the way we're born. Like in the house when we're young, our mum is like, we look up to our mum. Whatever she says, we do.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age, okay, you're in the real world. There's a creator, a power source, whatever you want to call it. There's something there where you have faith in humanity, faith in good, faith in reason. Why am I here? Without that, you're going to destroy your head, not know. You're going to be an endless chicken. You know, so whatever it is, like, I'm not saying myself either, become Muslim, this, that, whatever it is, but think outside the box and read and do your own investigating. Get that faith, whatever it makes you feel at peace and calm when you have a bad day.
Whatever brings you wholeness, essentially.
Yeah, like for me, I pray, I put my head down, or I pray to God, please, this, whatever it is that does that, you need that, because without that, then you're going to get into that vicious cycle of antidepressants, stress, depression, and it's a dark, dark road. And
I think as a human being as well, from what I've understood, is I previously in my business was making lots of money, but because I wasn't serving the world with my communication, with my voice, I didn't feel whole. Yeah. Because even my internal compass, when I was just making money, was telling me, "Oh, but there's more to it. There's more to it for you, mate. You're not here to do this."
What is it? All right, you're making loads of money, for example. Yeah, you're doing well. Okay, that's it. Then what?
Yeah.
Where's your real satisfaction come from? In Islam, in the Quran, it says you should want for your neighbor what you have. Like if I'm wealthy, yeah, literally it's a sin. If I'm smashing, I'm balling, and my neighbors are struggling, yeah, it's a sin on my behalf not to look out for them. Imagine that's our duty from God. Imagine. Tell me, is that not a good thing? You can't find one person in the world who will say, no, that's not good. They didn't work for it. No, that's how we should be. Like that's why you came to that conclusion. For me, have guys come up to me and say, man, you know, when you spoke, you did that with Tate, or you pray, when you post these spiritual things, you made me pray, or you make me feel good. And I swear that feels better than someone going, oh, you look good, man. You got a good chest workout. Bruv, that car looks good. I don't care. Bro, because there's always a better car. You think you're good? See how Tate lives. See how a sheikh lives. See how a Saudi lives, bro. You're nothing.
When obviously I'm a massive study of success, and I speak to a lot of successful people, and the successful people I've interviewed a lot of people successful in the terms of money and material wealth, and I've interviewed a lot of other people that also have material wealth and material success. The difference is the happiest people that have success have faith in something beyond themselves, and they're the whole ones. So I've interviewed, let's just say 125, 130 people, right, at high level, and I'm telling you now, the happiest and whole ones are the ones with the faith beyond it, and I only cottoned on to that about 3 months ago.
It's a fact of life, because again, money, stardom, hierarchy, reputation, it's limited, bro. It's kind of, I won't say fake, it's a show. Behind closed doors, when you're alone at night, when you've got stress, when you've got a tribulation or a trial and something bad, who do you turn to then? That's when the real test comes. When you're really in your lowest point, no friend cares, someone's left you, your partner, your family's away, you're in. That's when you've got to go to the creator, whatever you want to call it. Open your heart, put your head down on the floor, how will we do it, and pray and say, look, give me guidance, what's my soul? And you'll get a vision of some sort and you'll see. But for me, my stance, without Islam and Islam in my life and praying, I swear I wouldn't know where I'll be. And I always say, alhamdulillah, thanks God that Islam came to me and I'm close to it, because I wouldn't have achieved nothing what I have. I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't be as satisfied and know my purpose in life. And I'm like, tomorrow's never guaranteed. You know, it's never guaranteed tomorrow. We could finish here, I could have a heart attack walking out the door, or I could have a crash. But alhamdulillah, whenever it's my time, I'm ready. Yeah, that comes after years and knowing, like, if it's my time, I'm ready. The only thing I'd be upset about, because I want to see my kids raised and make sure they're financially okay. But again, I know everything happens for a reason. I know everything God set and everything's written, so they'd be okay. You understand? Have that faith and belief there.
Yeah.
God forbid, have nothing there. I know God makes a way, and He says, "I do not burden any soul more than they can bear." It's promised to us in our holy book, and I believe it's perfect. And also, so that's why I never stress, bro. I never stress. I had a problem in my gym last year we were shut down, I lost everything. I'm never stressed. Then alhamdulillah, come back and it's become more bigger than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Faith in God and hard work as well, but faith in God and belief. So that's what I say. And it took me years. I'm 41 now, man. I've matured in different ways, but it took me years to really, truly believe and live by that. Because being a Muslim as well, I'd sin, I'd do stupid things and had a bad temper and acted a certain way. But bad times in your life, God gives you bad times to wake you up. Yeah. So don't take bad times as, oh, my life's bad. It's a wake-up call, man. 100%. When you have a shit time or a low time, that's a wake-up call to say, get your shit in check. This is what you should be doing.
100%. Yeah. So if Tam, if I said to you that if there's one thing that you could say, like you're checking out the world tomorrow, and there's one gift, one pearl of wisdom that you could leave on this audience to impart, but you can't leave any of the physical stuff that you got or the gym or nothing, but you just leave one pearl of wisdom. What pearl of wisdom will you leave for the audience?
My opinion, I'm sorry to say this and nothing, but I'd say everyone, I advise not to just become, it's no compulsion, I don't want to pressure anyone, but read the Holy Quran. Just read the Holy Quran. Anyone, don't even become Muslim, don't do anything. Just read that book as a guidance. And I promise you, if you read it with an open heart, anyone who reads it just as something to refer to in life, I promise you, not one of you will regret it, not one of you will be more stressed, you'll actually benefit from it, whether it's internal peace feeling or you think, wow, or even if you think, you know what, it's a great book story. Just read that and it'll calm everyone down and make them realize the true meaning of life and that there's nothing to stress about. When you see some of the sacrifices people went through in tribulations in life and how they had patience and what we call sabr, trust me, I recommend every person on earth just to read that holy book, just for the sake of it, just to see. With an open heart, no hypocrisies, no agendas, just read it. Not to do anything, not to become, I'm not saying anything, just read it. Just present it as like a novel if you want in your way, isn't it? Say, I want to read a book and just see how you feel. That's my only thing I'd recommend everyone do. Nothing else. Not about a business move, not about knowing someone, not about working out, running every day, fasting, having one meal a day to think about it. Read the Quran because you'll see it is a book about society, life, how to think, how to live, how to walk, how to treat people, how to be good to people, how to smile. It recommends smiling, it recommends giving charity. And if every person, not to be religious, but live by those rules, bruv, there will be no stress on earth. Mark my words. But I myself don't, no one else. No one does perfectly, so.
I love that, man. I like the way that you've communicated that. And if I can just leave you all with something, it's like you must have a faith in something beyond yourself, no matter what that is. And everything that's said in this podcast is and everything Tam's saying, he's not preaching about any sort of religion, and neither am I. It's like I'm just saying, have faith in something bigger than yourself, and that is when you feel most whole. And I'm telling you now, I've seen it in my life, and Tam's seen it in his life, and I know other successful people that are also whole, not just on the physical realm. They've also they've also had it where there's a faith in something bigger than themselves as well. And that is the key element that I didn't identify for so long, and I think that'll help and serve you all. But anyway, Tam Khan,
pleasure.
Mr. MMA, Mr. Dubai, the King of Dubai. Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you all listening, and I just do me a solid favor. If you resonate with what me and Tam are saying in this podcast, and you've got some value, share it on the socials, share it on everything else, and we appreciate you, mate.
And I'm gonna do a little gesture, all right? I did before. Everyone comment a comment regarding what a certain segment you saw on this podcast, what you liked, or whatever you didn't like, whatever you do, and whoever comments, and Frankie will show me later, I'll give a free week pass to my gym. So if you're ever in Dubai and you can prove you commented and liked this video and you showed me the comment on my reception, you get a free week pass.
There you go.
There you go. So that's more incentive. That's
an encouragement to go and like and subscribe on YouTube. YouTube is a channel that I'm trying to grow. 99% of the audience on YouTube that rewatch podcast after podcast are still not subscribed yet. I'd like you all to go and subscribe. And even if you listen to this on Spotify and Apple, I'd still like you to go subscribe on YouTube, because the faster the YouTube grows, the faster we can get all the top guests in the world, like I'm trying to bring you week in, week out. So I'd appreciate it. Yet again, guys, much love. You're on the journey with me throughout this podcasting, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Guys, do me a solid favor. Drop a comment below this video and let us know who you want on the podcast next.